Dude, all these extra details. All these like extra little details to try and make it sound worse.
I told him that the anniversary of my essay was coming up, and so he was well aware of.
Anniversary? Dude. Anniversary of essay. Okay, that's deranged. Who the f does that? What is this? What is this, dude? He's in the shower. Bro, wait, what, dude? That is a crazy picture. Cam nuggets. Bro, cam nuggets. Bro, this guy. What is it, dude? What is this guy's problem, dude? What? What? Dude, come off it, bro.
It was small.
Bro, what the? What? Are you serious, bro? What is even happening now? What is this? Evidence for ants? So, we have got a brand new allegation that's dropped. Okay? And this was causing a wave yesterday as it was popping off on social media. So we'll get into it. It involves someone called Harry Sissons. Now, Harry Sissons is one of these new wave of like Democrat influencers, right? Who they've sort of cropped up seemingly out of nowhere, it feels like. It's like they've been built in a factory or something. And they are like these kind of like Zoomer young guys who are basically just repackaging the woke scolding leftoid politics that we saw a few years ago into a new format. And they're acting like that's going to fix the Democrat Party. It's like their solution to bring men back on board is have these bunch of effeminate soy losers finger wag and hope that they, you know, do something essentially. Yeah, like Dean Withers. Dean Withers is another example of this. And I'm pretty sure that this guy, this Sissons guy, he appeared like organically, but then it was apparently astroturfed, and he had some sort of link through some pack somewhere to DNC funding. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but anyway, a lot of these people are like astroturfed fucking individuals, right? And the stomping grounds are TikTok. However, in this particular instance, this Sissons fella has tragically and unfortunately fallen foul of the TikTok menace that are women. Okay? So let's have a little look. We'll see what's going on. But welcome as we get into a politically themed rate review. Let's go. Okay, so we got a thread here, which is quite long, and it's got lots of like testimonies and stuff. So I've got to be honest with you, I've had a little look at this. Yeah, I feel like this is one of those situations where the claims are getting overstated, but there probably is something to talk about here. There probably is a criticism somewhere here. It's just the criticism isn't the level that people are talking about it at. You know? That's, I think, my rough take based on the little things that I've seen so far. You know? But let's go through it. We'll have a look. We'll see what we think. And we'll go from there. Okay? Let's have a look. Harry Sisson convinced 11 different women that he had no roster and respected them for more than their bodies, while persuading them to send explicit photos of themselves through Snapchat, including from a domestic abuse survivor. So, I don't really understand what relevance it's got that someone is a domestic abuse survivor, right? Unless there's some sort of manipulation that's occurred. I don't really think that's a meaningful thing. Like, okay, so they're a domestic abuse survivor. Well, you know, what does that matter? Like, unless he's done something bad to them specifically in relation to that, I don't really understand what the fuck that has got to do with anything. Now, obviously, I've yet to look at the information directly about it, but I mean, it comes across to me like this guy is doing the kind of classic, like, yeah, I'm a woman respecter. I respect women. Meanwhile, he's just fucking wanting as many nudes as he can get his dirty little hands on. Something like that, you know? When the women discovered each other one by one, He called them all insane and attempted to coerce one of them into telling the public that the photos were fake. A request to the reader: set political differences to the side. I believe both sides of the aisle can agree that this is unacceptable behaviour from a man-child with collectively over 2 million followers. Thread here. Now, what's interesting to note about this is that the rightoids that I've seen talking about this predominantly are supporting Harry. Like, they're mainly like, yeah, fucking Harry did nothing wrong. Harry's based, actually. Fuck these bitches. There's a couple of rightoids that I've seen who I think are like, you know, a bit more critical. Like, Cat Turd is one I could think of off the top of my head. But predominantly the rightoids are like, yeah, fucking who cares? So that's interesting that it seems to be the rightoids that are more, you know, supportive of this. And the classic, like, soy libtards are the ones that are seemingly agreeing that this is very bad. Okay, so we've got some photos here. And then Harry says, damn, you're sexy. And she says, psh, stop, don't. And then Harry says, I'd fuck you raw after wine tasting, but that's just me. Right, okay. Interesting Riz. Interesting. Damn, he's going in raw. Okay, so that's the first piece of evidence, I guess. And let's have a look at this.
Live, don't read on live. Yeah, I saw about this. Like, actually lunatics. Like, genuinely, they are. This individual in question is insane.
Wait, who is that?
And so, I'll send. Yeah, I can share with Chris. I'll send a screenshot. Yeah, no, like legitimately, Chris and I have been talking about this for days now.
Uh-oh.
This individual
Wait,
is
who?
fucking crazy.
Wait,
bro.
what?
If you want to support the live,
Bro,
it means
that
incredible
bro.
mentors. I'm saying, dude. I am saying.
No, you be good out there, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
You be safe.
That's what. That's also. What
He
I'm
said
saying,
that's what he
Kozo.
said. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
By the way, how old is this lad? How old is he? He's in his like early 20s, I believe, right? I think that's a factor in this too. 22 is a number that I've heard. Not this guy, the other guy that he's talking to. This is someone else. This is one of his fucking TikTok clone mates. I mean, I guess this is in reference. Okay, I need to listen again. I don't really understand what he's talking about exactly.
Live, don't read on live. Yeah, I saw about this. Like, actually lunatics. Like, genuinely, they are. This individual in question is insane.
Wait, who is that?
And
Okay,
so,
that's wonderful. But how do I make money?
Who are they
off
talk?
the
Who is he
past
talking about? This person here in the thread? Is that them? Also, the other thing as well that's worth bearing in mind, because people are saying, "Oh, you know, why are the libtards doing this?" It seems like the predominant person bringing this together is some Republican state delegate and precinct chair. So, this idea that it's like the libtards that are cancelling him, obviously the women coming forward are probably libtards. But it does seem like this is some sort of like Republican-driven campaign or something, right?
I'll send. Yeah, I can share with Chris. I'll send a screenshot. Yeah, no, like legitimately, Chris and I have been talking about this for days now.
Uh-oh.
This individual
Wait,
is
who?
fucking crazy.
Wait,
bro.
what?
If you want to support the live,
Bro,
it means
that
incredible
bro.
mentors. I'm saying, dude. I am saying.
No, you be good out there, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
You be safe.
That's what. That's also.
He
What I'm
said
saying,
that's what he
Kozo.
said. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Live, don't read.
Yeah, I don't really understand what that is exactly. I'm a bit confused. I'm guessing he's talking about a woman being crazy talking about this, but it's very, very slim context on that clip. Anyway, let's get into some of these clips. Several of the women involved have made their stances public, but the videos are not receiving much traction. Well, they are now, aren't they? They are now. They are now, because you have helpfully brought them together. I'm sure with no political goal, you've helpfully brought them all together for us. Excellent news. While Harry Sisson continues to collect millions of views on his videos, claiming that he's a supporter of women and a champion for women's rights. So, I think there's a point to be made here, potentially. I don't watch this guy's content, but if he presents himself as some fucking, like, woke tard, you know, woman respecter, right? I think that, yeah, I could definitely see there being some sort of hypocrisy thing happening there, sure. But I don't really watch his content, so I don't know what he talks about exactly. But I would presume he's got like the kind of like typical like libtard feminism respecter meme going on.
I've been trying to figure out how I want to word a video regarding this. But I think what I'm going to just say is I've never been the woman that has called out behavior like this. I've never been one of these people. And if you have been, fucking props to you. Because I don't think anybody could comprehend how genuinely terrifying it is to do something like this. Yeah. I really... Send me how you stop having fucking heart palpitations. I've been trying to...
Okay. Right. I mean, it's okay. It's just a video of her talking about how hard it is to talk about it, but not actually talking about what it is. What is it? What's happened here? Okay, right, we got some more here. Hopefully we're going to get into some more meat and potatoes. Carly, one of Harry's victims, has described the situation in the most detail. Summary of her videos. According to Carly, Harry wooed her from the very beginning and convinced her that he respected her for more than physical appearance. She said even though she's embarrassed to admit it, she created a private chat to chat with Harry that was meant for his eyes only, where she shared explicit photos of herself with him. He loved it. He loved that I was not entertaining anyone else the way I was entertaining him. Harry told her that she was wifey material and was sold on her wife applications. This sounds quite manipulative. Yeah, this sounds like quite a manipulative thing to do, if true. I mean, should the woman be a bit wiser to it? Sure. But, like, you know, this is, like, very typical, like, fuckboy type behavior, like, manipulative behavior, you know? Like, if he doesn't have any interest in this. Like, there's flirting. There's flirting. But if someone is giving an implication that they want more than they truly do, in a very kind of explicit way, I think that's manipulative, you know? This is cancelable now. No, I wouldn't necessarily say it's cancelable. How old is he again? What's his age? Like, you know, this is something that people do, unfortunately. They just act like total shitters. 23. I mean, you know, this is one of the things that happens is people will, you know, engage in this sort of behavior, particularly when they're, like, younger, right? And I think that it's one of those learning situations, you know? I think it's one of those learning situations of, like, this is not how you should behave and you should grow from this, right? And the reason I asked for his age is I'd view it differently if it was someone that was older that should know better that is doing stuff like this, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think that, yeah, I think this is fine to be critical of. I mean, you know, as I say, I don't think he should be cancelled for this necessarily. If anything, he should be cancelled for it's being a total fucking shill DNC hack loser, basically. You know, something like that is what he should be cancelled for. But anyway, that's by the by. I don't think he should be cancelled for this. But yeah, I think this is there is something amiss here. I don't agree with this like, oh, he did nothing wrong mentality, right? I think he did something wrong. I just don't know if I agree with the framing that I've seen about this. I think, you know, on Twitter and stuff, people are going to be pretty fucking ham on it. But I need to see the evidence and stuff to really determine it, you know? Like, is this guy really leading her on a lot, or is it like she's overstating it? I guess we'll see. After 6 months of this behavior, he told her he didn't want a commitment. She accused him of leading her own, to which he admitted to doing, but also said he should have made his intentions clear. Right. Okay. Like, that is, like, leading someone on is a shitty thing to do. Right? I think you should be open and honest. And I've done it. in my past, okay? We've all done it. Every man has done this. Every woman has probably done this as well that's been in a relationship. It's not just a gendered thing, right? But obviously, you know, you should let people know where you stand,
Okay,
honestly.
that's wonderful.
Right?
But how do I make money off depressed people?
So some 20-something liberal guy likes blue hairs and this an issue. Why? Do you have to be a eunuch to be online? Wow. Should be addressed offline. Judge emoji.
Thank you for the $5. Well, I don't know his content, but if he presents himself as like the woman respecter, I mean, and then he's behind the scenes doing this sort of shit, I don't know if I agree that it's just something that should be addressed offline. I'm not necessarily against this being spoken about. I need to see more to be 100%, but yeah. Your chat is full of losers. Which direction? Well, I know that already, but which direction are we talking about? Seems like a manipulative loser. His crime is hypocrisy by his own side's standards, so maybe his side should hold him accountable for their morality. Yeah, maybe something like that. But then the problem I have with that is like, I don't want Republicans have got no fucking leg to stand on this topic, unfortunately. I'm not looking to judge him by anyone's standards but my own and my own belief about what he should have done. I don't really care what other people say about this. Really, it's more like, what's my personal view on it, you know? And for me, from what I can see so far, I think, I mean, you know, it's excessive, the level of criticism that he's getting, and that feels unreasonable. This is something that you normally learn when you're early on in your relationship years, and, you know, you do it amongst a friendship group or something like that. Like a lad gets exposed for leading all these women on, and they get socially shamed for that at a much smaller level. Right? That is how this should be dealt with normally. But then, it's difficult because it's like, if he has made a platform off of promoting the idea of like a pro-woman talking points, and this is a contradiction to that, then people are obviously going to want to bring it up and talk about it, right? So yeah. Is being a fuckboy illegal? No. And I think that often that should be dealt with on a more private social level, or smaller social level, I should say. But I think being a fuckboy generally will involve some level of manipulation, which men ought not to engage in, right? You know, like, I've often looked at stuff and gone, yeah, this guy's a fuckboy. And you know, like, it's fine to say that people can go overboard in the criticisms, but you shouldn't, like, lead people on and, like, mislead them about what your intentions are. You know? That's you know, I don't want it to be like, we're like, oh, well, you know, you can just behave like that, no question. But I don't think you could behave like that, no question. You know, I think that, you know, men ought to hold themselves to a higher standard. And yes, obviously, it is true that women engage in this behavior too. So it's not one-sided by any means. And I would wager that if a woman was doing this, people probably wouldn't care as much on, you know, the side that are currently complaining about it. But then other people would complain about it and say that it's bad. So, you know.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
LiquidCo2 became a member. LiquidCo2 celebrates 3 months of membership. New soy bugman being a hypocrite? I don't like the guy, but this is nothing terrible for a effeminate slur, his age.
Thank you for the membership. Yeah, like I say, I think that, you know, there is something to be said here. Should it be the level that it's at? I don't think so. The way people are talking about it is pretty deranged. But there probably is something here to talk about. Anyway, let's continue on. Thank you for the level 250. Appreciate it. Okay. Directly after this, Harry posted a photo of a thirst trap of him and his new girlfriend on TikTok. The video shows him lying in bed with a girl while she provocatively swipes her hand across his face. Prior to the first trap, Carly watched Harry go live and observed hickeys on his neck from a different girl. She confronted Harry and he told her she was overreacting. Carly has recently been through a traumatic car accident and was dealing with depression at the time. Okay, bro, dude, all these extra details. All these like extra little details to try and make it sound worse. Oh, she'd been in a terrible car accident. Okay, well, I don't fucking care about that, okay? Literally couldn't care less about your fucking personal issues, right? What matters is if he did something bad in relation to that, or played on that, or used that in some way, right?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make
But yeah.
money off depressed people?
I was fine until I found out one of his victims was a domestic violence survivor. If he was a real cis man, all of them would have been domestic abuse survivors.
Thank you for the super chats. Carly stated that Harry pounced and took advantage of her sadness. Right, okay. So we've got like a framing here that straight away I'm a bit suspicious of. Right? Like, I'd need to see something to back that up. Right? I mean, it can't be enough that this has just happened. Is there like some evidence of him actually doing that and pouncing on sadness like that? That seems like that seems to be coming from a place where you're looking at the situation and putting the most negative framing on it. Like, I'd need to see more to really assess that, I think. Carly decided to go live on TikTok to share her story, and this is when she discovered that during the 9 months that she was talking to Harry, Harry was leading multiple other women on at the exact same time. He had told them the exact same things and had convinced them to send him explicit messages through the Snapchat platform. Harry told the other women that he had no roster. Right. Okay. Oh, we've hit the super chat goal. I'll set up another one while we start this video.
I got played by a TikTok influencer for 9 months, and I think it's time that I expose his trashy ass behavior. We started talking in May of last year, right before my birthday, and he like wooed me.
So the way that she's describing it is like trashy ass behavior, right? So the framing here seems more like he's like a trashy shitter, which is fine. I think that's a reasonable description of it. So I guess we'll see what else she says. But so far it's like, you know, if you feel you've been wronged like this, I don't know how I feel about making it public, like using your platform for it. I'm a bit, I don't know, man. It's like, is it really right to go to your fucking audience? I think this is the kind of thing traditionally women would have talked to their women mates about, and like in town word would have got around that this young lad is being a shitter, you know, and that would have like had a reputational issue going forward. But it feels like we put rocket fuel on it now and it becomes this massive story. Now fucking everyone knows that Harry Sisson is like a total shitter, and they're calling him like the most insane shit. Do you know what I mean? I don't really know how to resolve that. Like, I don't think this person should be stopped from coming forward. But I think that there needs to be more mediation in terms of how people, like, think of this. But let's see more. I'm not fully decided yet. Let's see more.
He was very kind. I felt really excited and thankful that I found somebody who, at the time, I thought respected me for more than my physical appearance.
Exactly, Styler. Yeah, I agree with that. The problem is how people respond to it, not the fact she's talking about a famous guy being a playboy. Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, I literally could have never imagined or even like fathomed what was gonna end up happening after talking for 9 months. I'm really embarrassed to admit this, but I created a private story on Snapchat for just him and named it For Your Eyes Only, and he loved it. He loved the attention that I was giving him and the fact that he knew that I wasn't entertaining anybody else the way I was entertaining him. Within the first 2 to 3 months, he had told me on 2 separate occasions that I was wife material and that he was, quote unquote, sold on my wifey application. He was frequently saving my snaps and just like making me feel good about myself, call me beautiful and gorgeous, so it's like, how could I not read into that? 6 months into talking, he suddenly is like, I'm not looking for any commitment and I'm not in a place to find anything long-term right now. I'm just really busy, blah, blah, blah. And like, I was understanding. I was fine keeping things casual. However, I couldn't help but feel that he led me on. And he even admitted to that. He's like, yeah, that's on me for like not making my intentions clear.
6 months is why, like, what? That sounds like the kind of thing that would like fizzle out in a month or something, and it kept going on for 6 months. I just don't understand how, you know, you keep it casual for 6 months. I guess online maybe that is the reason or something, but regret for sending nudes. Imagine beating off to the same woman for 6 months. Could not be me. Well, I think that a woman sending nudes to someone is, unless they're like some sort of OnlyFans person, maybe, and it's like their trade. I don't know. Maybe it's different there. But I think if you're like a woman that doesn't do that sort of thing, like you're not used to the idea of putting yourself on the internet like that, it's quite like a personal thing to do, right? You're showing someone your body. I doubt she does anything like that. Don't be fucking perverted also, but if that's what you're asking. But no, I wouldn't imagine she does, so I don't know for sure. But yeah, no, I think that that's something that women are gonna feel a certain way about. I think that's reasonable.
Okay. He tells me a couple more times after that he doesn't want commitment. And then next thing I know, he's posting a soft launch thirst trap of him and his new girlfriend 2 weeks ago. Actually, prior to this, I had found out that he fucked around with somebody else by him going live on TikTok and showing hickeys on his neck. That's how I literally found out that he was fucking around.
Also, I feel like there's an element of like fuck around and find out here, right? Like, obviously, I don't agree with the extremity of how it's being discussed. But if you're going to, like, be a celebrity and go and lead on all these women, like, there's going to be a consequence for that eventually, right? I mean, I don't think that, like, you're going to get away with doing this without something coming out about it. It's not fucking around if you aren't dating. No, what I'm talking about is him apparently speaking to all these women and, like, using manipulative riz to lead them all on. That's what I mean about the fucking around thing. You know? What's the consequence for getting some? Well, like I explained earlier, in like a sort of normal social setting, if there was a guy who was talking to all these women and he was like leading them on and giving them the wrong idea and acting like he was up for some commitment when he wasn't, that would lead to like a small level social shaming normally within your town, right? Like, I'm sure you've obviously, you know, experienced this or seen this before yourself in your own social settings where someone is identified as being a player or being a fuckboy or something like that, right? Like, normally it's a smaller level social shaming that occurs. If you build a gay community, they will devour you for this. You deserve it. Yeah, I see that, definitely. I can see that. He's created this community of, like, women lovers. You know, like if this came out about a red pill guy, no one would fucking care. People would just be like, oh, fucking red pill guy, whatever. But if he has cultivated a community on the basis of supporting women and stuff, again, I need to see more of his content to be sure. Is there content where he's doing like the fucking anti-red pill shtick and shit like that? Like if he's pushing an anti-red pill message whilst acting like a red pillar, right? Yeah, you know, that is the fucking around find out part. You're pushing a narrative that is antithetical to your own behavior, and that gets exposed, and you're going to get fucking shit on for that, right? Yeah, I don't know.
So I confronted him about it, right? Like any normal person would do. And he got all defensive and started like gaslighting me. Basically saying that I was like overreacting and all this stuff. And I was like, you're kidding me, right? Keep in mind, he was well aware of the fact that I was very depressed following a very traumatic car accident that I had been in. And he still took advantage of my sadness.
Wait, what?
Keep in mind, he was well aware of the fact that I was very depressed following a very traumatic car accident that I had been in. And he still took advantage of my sadness.
Okay, he still took advantage of your sadness. Was that incidental? Or is it like he specifically did that? Because that's like a worse thing to do, is specifically taking advantage of someone being depressed. But like, oh, dude, it's like I need more than that. I need more than her just saying it. Is it that he just spoke to you and that was mentioned? Or did he like intentionally trying to get in on the fact that you were depressed? I don't know, dude. We need something. Show us some fucking screenshots.
Anywho, I forgot to mention, but we were mutuals on TikTok, mutuals on Instagram. I was his only friend on Facebook, and I have receipts of this, of course, but...
Depressed people.
I wonder how this girl standing in the road recording a TikTok got into a car accident.
Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I feel like this woman and probably others are probably trying to rationalize like getting played, right? Like that to me sounds like she's trying to rationalize what happened by making it about her being sad because of the car crash. Without evidence, I'm a bit skeptical. It just seems like they had a, you know, consensual, flirtatious conversation. And now she's trying to lay on an extra layer of condemnation by making it about, you know... Well, I don't even know if she's trying to lay on condemnation. I think she's just trying to rationalize her own feeling and, in effect, layering on another layer of condemnation. Something like that.
He's trying to remove me from everything. He demanded that I unsave everything on Snapchat because he had a new girlfriend and it was like out of respect for her. Bro, you don't know the first thing about respecting women. Jump to last night, I find out that he was leading somebody else on at the same time he was leading.
Yeah, I think it is like West Elm Caleb-esque behavior. But the difference is that apparently this Harry guy is like a big, like, woman respecter, right? So it's like, yeah. Has he argued against the red pill stuff? Oh, dude, all the other fucking libtard commentators are weighing in, bro. No way. Okay, I'm getting proof from Queeman that he's a skinwalker. What is this, dude?
I was born in Singapore, and I lived there for only like a year, and then I moved to Dubai, and I lived there for 5 years, and then I moved to Dublin, Ireland. I lived there for around 9, so that's pretty much where I grew up. And then I moved to the United States and went to high school here, and now I'm going to college here.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Okay. What's the point of that clip? I don't understand what you mean. What does that mean? Oh, what's this? Uh-oh. Oh, no. America failed women tonight. Bro. Obviously, Trump is worse by an order of magnitude than what this guy has done. Okay? But the point is, I think, is that, you know, he has cultivated an audience of fucking libtard women with this sort of rhetoric. You know? It's like a chicken building a fucking fox den. Like, I don't know, dude. It's like, yeah, you're going to get eaten alive. Stop building the fox den, bro. So you're saying he has to hate women to do stuff like this? No, I'm saying that he is, you know, put out certain messages in order to appeal to a certain demographic. Whilst engaging in behavior that would not play well amongst that demographic, right? Like, he wants to be this woman respecter, but is engaged in a pattern of behavior that doesn't seem to be respectful of women's feelings, right? Something like that. I'm not even, like, I don't think this guy needs to be cancelled for this. I'm not saying he needs to be destroyed over this, okay? I'm just pointing out that, you know, he has cultivated a certain audience, and that audience is created a debt, and the debt is now come knocking because he is engaged in certain behavior, you know? Trump bullied, assaulted, and stripped reproductive rights away from women all across the country, and instead of standing against it, many voted for it. We've failed our daughters, mothers, and sisters. You know, Trump is worse, obviously. I don't even disagree with, you know, a criticism of Trump. It's just, you know, America failed women tonight. Like, it just... That's not going to sell well when it turns out you're leading a bunch of women on, acting like you're into a relationship. But again, don't think he should be cancelled. One shit tweet and no anti-Red Pill content, and Chud wants to burn this guy at the stake. I don't want to burn this guy at the stake. I'm actually very, like, I'm considerate of the fact he's only 22 or 23. I think that's a very important factor in, hopefully this is like a lesson to like not engage in this behavior moving forward, right? That's it. That's the way that I see this.
Me on. And my world was shook. I DM'd her because I saw a comment she left on his backup account, I guess is what you could call it. And she was like, oh my God, I think we went through the same thing. And I was like, no freaking way, girl, spill. And so, long story short, we talked literally probably 6-7 hours.
Dude, your point makes no sense. No left-wing person is cancelling this guy. Well, you're just wrong. That's just incorrect. No left-wing person is cancelling the guy. Dean Withers is commenting on it and saying that he's not very happy. I mean, this narrative that it's just fucking right-wing people. But, bro, dude, I said at the start of this, and I intentionally, specifically pointed out that the person that has cultivated these clips is a Republican, right? And I'm pretty sure I made it clear what I was saying there, right? God, you're so fucking retarded, it's unbelievable. I pointed out that a Republican has cultivated these clips, likely for political reasons, okay? I said something like, oh, because the person said, these aren't getting much traction. And I said, well, they're getting traction now, aren't they? I'm sure for non-political reasons. I specifically pointed out what I thought the dynamic was here in a joking way. And now you're moaning at me because apparently I'm not giving enough fucking... Yeah, I know. I understand that. I literally explained it about 20 minutes ago on the stream, right? But what I'm saying is there are absolutely people from his political side that are upset with this. Even if this has been pushed forward by like a Republican person and a Republican narrative, okay?
Last night, exposing everything. Early on in the conversation, she tells me that he had told her in December.
I think you might be retarded, Chud. This 5 out of 10 even shows proof of this guy saying we can't be exclusive. I don't want to be exclusive with you. He did not lead them on. Well, we'll see. I've not got to that part yet.
That he had no roster. What the fuck do you call me? You're talking to me for 7 months at that point, and you're gonna say that you've no roster. I see. She shared screenshots of their conversations. I shared screenshots of ours, and we basically came to the conclusion that he is a despicable, disgusting fuckboy.
Despicable, disgusting fuckboy. I mean, sure. Fine. I think that's a reasonable level for this. What's wrong with that, saying that about someone? Like, I don't think the extremity it's got to is right, but like, calling him a fuckboy is fine. That seems to be what he is.
He sits here on his platform of almost 2 million followers and preaches respect for women and believing women, blah, 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 blah. And then he disrespected us so grossly. Asked for extremely intimate images. Made us both think that we were the only one he was talking to. And then he started dating somebody else. So we have no idea how long she was in the picture. This is just a very broad outline of the story, and I'm more than happy to do a follow-up with receipts and more details, but I literally could not sit on this information for any longer, and I had to just get it out there because I quite literally could have burst into flames at this point because I'm so angry. But yeah, he's wishing everyone a happy International Women's Day after telling people on live earlier that I'm insane. So, yeah. You're clocked, buddy.
Yeah, I think that having covered a lot of these situations, you know, it's like people are obviously fine to speak about stuff if they want to, and calling him a fuckboy is fine, and almost like a sort of warning, if you like. You know, this guy has done this to me, he might do it to others. In terms of leading you on and acting like a fuckboy, it's just a reaction. It's extreme, but if this person has had a bad experience and they want to talk about it, why do I have to know about this? Well, you don't. You can just click off the video if you don't want to watch it and be like, oh, I don't care about this, and move on about your day. Okay. Also, you left-wing retards are upset in the way you say cheating is wrong. Okay, like, you're also fucking retarded, right? Because if you look at this, there are plenty of righties that I follow that are saying you didn't do anything wrong. Bro, this thread is so fucking long, dude. Okay. Look, Zuby. Fucking Zuby. Zuby's on his side. Alex Rosen on his side. Disagree here. I'm surprised he's a female Harry wanted, but it's totally on them to send nudes. I'm pretty... Look, Captive Dreamer, that fucking MAGA guy. Can I say something? Harry is the real victim here. These predatory succubi willingly sent him images to seduce him and compromise his mission as a Democrat activist. This is all a fake campaign. Free Harry's the victim. He's joking here, somewhat. But he also, I think, has stated that he doesn't really think Harry did much wrong, in what I can see. So, you know, it's like... There's different takes on each side of this. I don't think there's, like, the right are definitively against him and the progressives are definitively, you know, for him. I think that there's the kind of difference of perspective. Like, you know, the edgier left type, I don't think really care about this. But the more traditional, progressive, feminist left are not happy with this. And the righties who want a political opportunity to shit on this guy going ham. But then the political right, who are more red pill coded, are like, yeah, fuck these women, right? Like, it's complicated. And you want to turn it into a simple left versus right narrative when I think it's more complicated than that, you know? But as I said earlier, and I'll say it again because you're clearly too fucking retarded to understand, you know, the things I was saying. This person is some sort of Republican person. And I think it's, you know, pretty obvious that they're collating these clips as a sort of political hit piece, right? I don't think that they genuinely care about this. I think that they're doing it politically motivated to bring together a sort of dossier, if you like, in order to destroy this guy, right? I think that's true. I'll give a listen to the space. I need a copy of it though, because I don't know if it was saved, but yeah. Right, let's see what else she had to say. Like the way, like she's calling him a fuckboy. She's saying he's a fuckboy. He's a disgusting fuckboy. Okay. But then they're putting it together in a certain way.
Your wish is my command. Your wish is my command. I had been following this political influencer for a couple months prior to me DMing him, basically just offering my support and telling him that I was proud of what he was doing and that I was learning a lot from him. A little bit after that, I shared with him that I was a survivor of SA, and if he ever needed a victim's perspective during one of his, just offering my support and...
Hey Chud, I did the challenge. Can you give me a new Fortnite challenge? Also, do you think people with Downs should be allowed to have kids?
Depends how severe the Downs is. If it's causes significant intellectual disability, probably not, no. And next up, you do the one chest challenge. One chest shotgun challenge. Thank you for the super chat. What was that she just said?
And telling him that I was proud of what he was doing and that I was learning a lot from him. A little bit after that, I shared with him that I was a survivor of SA, and if he ever needed a victim's perspective during one of his TikTok live debates, I would be willing to share my story. He was really nice about it, was supportive, thanked me for sharing with him, and also...
The raped consultants. The raped... I am a member of the raped, if you ever needed my my pointers.
So for my willingness to speak on it if he ever needed somebody to.
How do I make money off depressed people?
Why are IT influencers, Idin, running defense for a guy we were joking about forcefully sodomizing just a few months ago? As far as I'm concerned, he fed the rats and now...
Thank you for the super chats.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Because they have got a... Well, I say they've got a baseline of standard for this behavior. Well, they do, I guess, because they're willing to... You know, they're generally quite skeptical of these sorts of claims. They've taken Me Too skepticism to the other end of the spectrum in terms of being skeptical of every single thing, no matter what. So I think that it's rooted in their skepticism of these things rather than it being like a sort of, you know, like I don't think that really relates. The fact they were defending the concubine thing and then they're defending him on this. I don't think those two things are connected really. I think that it's, you know, separate things that are happening there. They're laughing at the idea of some effeminate guy being in a concubine because it's funny. But then these are more, you know, serious things that are happening that they're obviously, from their perspective, critical of. I'm going to cover the Twitter space. Don't worry, I'm going to cover the Twitter space.
After talking just like a couple more times in Instagram DMs, I was like, hey, like you should add me on Snapchat if you want to. And he did. So that was in May, like right before my birthday. Pretty quickly into us Snapchatting, he started saving snaps where I just like looked pretty, I guess. And if you know, you know, like that's a compliment. It wasn't anything inappropriate. It was just very flattering because I looked good. And he was kind of telling me that by wanting to keep those pictures of me in our chat.
Okay.
Shortly then after that, it became more of like an inappropriate infatuation with me. And he kind of hinted at that by saying something along the lines of, I had some like interesting or sexy pictures of me on my Instagram. And I was like, oh, okay. Granted, this was highly unexpected because I was like, you don't act this way at all on TikTok. I honestly didn't expect to like start talking because of my original DM, but obviously I was excited too because I had a lot of respect for him. I thought he was like this champion for women, supported our rights, berated people who disrespected women, and just all that stuff that, you know, makes a woman feel safe, right? Not long after we started snapping, I made some joke about probably having a bunch of competition, and he then told me that I had no competition and said that he was content, implying that he was content with just me. At another point, he told me that my opinion was the only one that mattered.
Yeah, I think the other problem with this as well as Snapchat stuff, you can request it, I think, somehow. They're not necessarily deleted forever, but unless you screenshotted them, it's not easy to show this stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll listen on and see what she has got, but so far there's not much to go off evidence-wise, it seems.
So of course I like ate that stuff right up. Like I was so excited and just like completely shocked and obviously like way too trusting. So time's passing, he's still saving a bunch of my snaps. I start saving snaps that he's sending as replies because one, they made me feel good, and two, now I'm glad I have them as receipts because he's calling me insane online. When September came around, I told him that the anniversary...
Okay, so this clip we watched earlier of him talking about the insane person, is that in relation to her? Is that correct?
...of my essay was coming up, and so he was well
Wait,
aware.
what?
Around, I told him that the anniversary of my essay was coming up, and so he was well aware of...
Anniversary? Dude. Anniversary of essay? Okay, that's fucking deranged. Who the fuck does that? Happy essay anniversary. We're going out to celebrate. Dude, what the fuck, bro? The raped anniversary.
...of this. And then on the night of September 15th, before he went live to debate on TikTok, he messaged me just wanting to check in, seeing how I was doing. And to me, that spoke volumes. I was like, that's really sweet of you. Thank you for checking in. And then after he was done debating, he tried to FaceTime me, but unfortunately I had already fallen asleep. Anyway, he attempted to call me. I didn't answer. He messaged me and told me to answer. And since I was sleeping, I didn't see it till the next morning. But when I saw that I had a missed call, again, I was like, how sweet is this that he really took the time out to want to check in with me on the night he knew was going to be very difficult for me to sleep. I think that kind of says a lot about how he felt about me. I don't know. Of course, I was holding on to this for a while because I really just thought he went above and beyond. And I really just thought he was like this amazing person who saw me as more
wonderful.
than my
How do I
body.
make money off depressed people?
Hey, thank you for the super chat. Here's some pepper spray to celebrate the big day.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Thank you for the
But how
super
do I
chats,
make
guys.
money off depressed people.
Happy our day to you. Happy our day, dearie girl. Happy our day to you.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've never heard it framed
But
like that
how do
before.
I make money off depressed people?
That poor dog in the background is whining because it wants free. I'm sure you know that white blonde women and dogs don't mix well.
Okay.
I hope it gets therapy.
Okay,
Thank you for the
wonderful.
support, guys.
But how
Appreciate
do I
it.
make money off depressed people?
Just joined, no idea who she talking about yet. Sounds like every male feminist ever.
Yeah, I think that this is part of his like game, right? I think that, you know, he's a woman respecter and he respects women and stuff, but he still wants he's still got that like dirty like man underlying it. Do you know what I mean? That just wants to look at her tits, right? So he's like playing a game here, I think, in terms of acting like he's fucking cares about all this shit, but he still wants to jerk off to a picture of your tits. I think that is essentially what's happening here.
But not too long after that, it all became even more intensely inappropriate, and just like the things that he was requesting from me that kind of took me by surprise. But
what?
Yeah, I
like
kind of
what?
just like put up with it because I was like, well, he respects me, right? He respects me for more than the physical attraction. From like late October onward, he started to pull back just a little bit, and I let it go for a while without saying anything. But then late November,
Pics are her asshole, dude, I'm telling you. What, because he's gay? Is that what we're saying? He wanted asshole pics because he's actually closeted or something? I don't know what you're talking about.
November, I was like, look, you like rarely snap me anymore. If you don't want to talk, like just communicate that with me. And he said that that wasn't the case. And then I had told him that if he was talking to any other women the way he was talking to me, then he needed to unsave my snaps because like I'm not that bitch. And he said that he wasn't talking to other women like that. He wasn't hooking up with anybody because he quote unquote never does that. And I believed him. I literally believed everything he said all the time. All the time.
Women send pics of everything else all the time. It's no big deal. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, probably some stuff. I mean, dude, I don't know, man. Like, a topless pic is like one thing, and then like, you know, genitalia gaped maybe could be something else. I don't know.
And that was very naive of me, I admit. From that conversation,
Okay, that's wonderful.
All the
But
time.
how do I make
All the
money
time.
off
And that was
depressed
very
people?
naive
This
of me, I
reminds
admit.
me of my favorite
From that
mission in Halo.
Hey.
SA Anniversary Edition. Sexual assault on the control room.
Thank you for the $5. Sorry, I missed that. What did she say?
Me, then he needed to unsave my snaps because like I'm not that bitch. And he said that he wasn't talking to other women like that. He wasn't hooking up with anybody because he quote unquote never does that. And I believed him. I literally believed everything he said all the time. All the time. And that was very naive of me, I admit.
Okay. So, in these statements here, if you actually listen to what she's saying, there's a few moments where I'm like, okay, that seems a bit fucking stupid. Like, you know, this idea that he was definitively, like, preying on her because she's mentally ill or something like that. But she can at least recognize that she was naive to believe that. And I think that's important as well. It's like, you know, as much as this guy does sound like a fuckboy, you obviously have got to recognize that guys are going to fucking say shit to you.
Okay,
you
that's
know?
wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Harry Sisson did nothing wrong. Women falling for the oldest tricks in the book.
Thank you for the
Stop
super
oppressing
chats.
White male sexuality.
Women in the early 20s trusting a man when he says he ain't like that award. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yes. But then, this is why I think this is more of a learning experience than I think something he should be destroyed for. Because, you know, young men and young women interact with each other, treat each other like this, and it can go either direction. Sometimes it's the woman leading the man on. Sometimes it's the man leading the woman on. And it's something that you hopefully learn from and move forward from, right? Because it's not good for anyone, really, to act like this. And then if you're like, you know, the victim of a fuckboy, you learn, oh, okay, I believe the bullshit he fed me. I need to be more aware of that in the future. And then obviously as they get older, they become a bit more cautious in terms of their engagement. And then guys, hopefully, learn that you shouldn't behave or act like this. Hopefully women will eventually learn to stop leading men on, okay? But that's a conversation for another day, okay?
From that conversation, I thought there was this understanding that if he was going to be fucking around or flirting with anybody else, asking for pics from them, he needed to delete mine. unfortunately, it took me a couple more months to figure out that he wasn't respecting that request whatsoever. Then February comes around and he shows up on TikTok live with hickeys on his neck. So I was like, obviously there's someone else and you're being dishonest with me. Of course I had to address this because I was hurt and I had every right to be. Not long after that, he discloses that he's seeing her. And I was like, oh, see, I thought you didn't want commitment, but that's my dad.
Right. So that comes across as like her nose has been put out of joint by the fact that he has found someone. Like, when a guy says, I'm not interested in commitment, right? It can mean that they're not interested in anything and they want to be a bachelor. But what it can also mean is, yeah, I'm not interested in commitment with you. But if someone were to come along, then maybe I would be interested in commitment. And to be honest with you, guys should be more honest about that. They should be more upfront and they should say, listen, you can even do that. It's not you, it's me shit. But, you know, if you've got the male equivalent of the ick, as it's called by the women, you should just be honest and be like, look, I'm not really feeling the vibe. I think that we're not really connecting how I'd like to. And I don't think this is something that I can see playing out long term. I just want to be upfront with you about that. And then that's it. They can decide, are they happy to continue as they are? Or, you know, like, hopefully both of you would agree, yeah, don't go any further. But yeah. But this is basic shit if women really become this naive. It's basic shit if you're an adult having learnt these lessons going through your life. But if you're in your late teens, early 20s, no, you're still learning. You're still developing. You're still going to understand the world. And I don't think it's that crazy that two people in the early 20s have this experience.
People? Bro was building a harem of nudes and fumbled.
Thank you for the super chat. Yes, exactly. Thank you for the super chats, guys.
Abu said Al-Qudri, the Prophet said, isn't the witness of a woman equal to half of that of a man? The women said, yes. He said, this is because of the deficiency of a woman's mind.
Very good. Thank you for the super chat.
The next weekend, he posts a thirst trap on TikTok with her. And I was like, all right, got it. In that comment section, I saw another woman say something regarding the fact that they had been talking a month prior. And I was like, wait a second. I need to know if this is legit. So I DM'd her. It took all of like 1 minute for her to realize that we literally got played by the same guy. And I can't even tell you the emotions that went through my body that entire day. A couple days later, boom, I get a DM.
Scheming women getting together, around the cauldron. The witches get around the cauldron to fucking start chucking fucking Eye of Newton shit to put the curse on the guy. Classic.
Another woman saying that she and her friend went through something very similar as well. And I was like, holy shit. I'm learning so much. Fast forward one more week, and here I am sitting here with knowledge of at least 6 other women who were played by the same guy in the same time period.
Yeah.
I'm just
I don't even know if she's saying it like this. The way she's describing it, 6 other women played by the same guy, right? But that's now transmuted into, look at all these women that are coming. It's become like a CDO of allegations now, where people are just pointing to the amount of women. And it's like, yeah, but what are they accusing him of? Well, in this video, it's of him being a fuckboy, leading women on and whatnot, and playing women. So, you know, it seemed, I mean, I don't know what's happened since then. There could be like more egregious claims that have been made. But in, yeah, this dude was stacking up asshole photos like you wouldn't believe. But to me, it's just like, the original claims are not even that. There's a couple of claims I'm very skeptical of and think are insane. But just the core idea that he's a disgusting fuckboy that's led women on. That's like, yeah, sure. And he shouldn't be destroyed for that. He should just be criticised and go on about your day. You know, and hopefully he learns. But it's transformed into this insane, like, Me Too style thing now. And I just don't think it should have been. It should have been, yeah, this guy's gross and leads women on, and that's it, you know?
Disgusted, bro. I have genuinely never been more wrong about somebody in my entire life. For 9 months, I thought that he was this amazing person. I respected him.
Wait. I'm guessing you wouldn't consider your dad or uncles sociopaths. This is not This is not sociopathic behavior. This is behavior of a young man who is growing up
that's wonderful.
and is coming to understand their fucking role in the world
Nicholas
as a relationship
DeWario
status.
became a member. Nicholas
Hey!
DeWario celebrates 13 months of membership. 10 years ago, if college-aged women got led along, they called friends, accepted their fell for it again award and ate ice cream. It's all rap now.
Thank you, Nicholas, for the membership. Yes, exactly. This is exactly the kind of thing that women get together and talk about. And if it's a small town, you get to know that there's a guy that's leading women on, and that's the long and the short of it. But now it's turned into this fucking insane allegation of like Me Too-esque proportions. And it just isn't that, really. It's, this guy's a shitter. This guy's manipulative fuckboy. Boom. That's it. So, yeah, I think the response is the issue. The extremity with which some people have responded is the problem.
I thought he respected me.
But how
I
do
thought
make
that
money off
the
depressed
person
people?
he showed online was
Thank you
the
for the
person
super
he
chats.
truly was, and I was proven so horribly wrong. So when I started speaking about this
Okay, that's
publicly,
wonderful.
his
But how do I
only
make money
response
off
has
depressed
been
people?
to say that I'm insane. Because he wants to take away my credibility before more people find out about this. All I have to say to that is there are some very strong women that I
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay, that's wonderful.
The
But how do I
insane
make
thing.
money off depressed people?
Thank you for the super chats, guys. Appreciate it. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't think this is a case of insanity. Okay? I think that this is more so like he's trying to circumvent. Like, I think he recognizes the difficulty of his position in that he's presented himself in a certain way, and this stuff coming forward is going to undermine that. And I think that's what he's concerned about. And also, he's probably recognizing that this stuff can be very damaging to you, despite the fact that, I mean, I don't know, man. What's he said about other people? I don't know what he said. I don't know all of his takes. As if he's given like strong takes about positively supporting Me Too, I'd probably say, yeah, he probably knows, despite his claims otherwise, that, you know, this could be damaging. But I don't know what he said about it, so I can't really say that. You know? I think he's a perverted liar. Sure. Yeah. Men can be perverted liars. Yep, that is true. It's just, what does he deserve to happen for this? That's the thing that I'm kind of thinking here. And I just don't think he deserves to have his career destroyed. I think that he is going to have to carry a sort of, you know, a mark against his, like, women supporting ways, which is fine. Like, you know, that's going to come into question, and it might be brought up in a debate, say. But I don't think that he should be destroyed, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I am aligned with and share experiences with, and we're not going to stand for some dude getting away with icky behavior. You can't
Icky.
sit there
Yeah.
and pretend that you care about women and respecting them, and then you berate people for disrespecting women, and then you're doing the same thing behind the scenes. The fact that you think that you don't have to be held accountable is actually really sickening, and it's disheartening.
Oh, held accountable. Oh, bro. See, that kind of language is where I start to get a bit like, okay, but held accountable. Like, I hate this held accountable thing. Like, you ought to say what happened, and then people will decide what they want to do about that. This idea that you are then responsible for holding him accountable, you know, it's no, I don't think you should be holding him accountable. I think you should say your piece, and then people can fairly determine what they want to do about it, you know? The holding accountable language makes it seem like they want some consequence for this, and I don't know if there should be some, you know, meaningful consequence beyond he gets criticized publicly, and then if people don't think he's a woman, respect her anymore, then so be it, you know, something like that.
be honest. I'm so glad that I found this out before I ever met up with him, because that would have just made everything a million times worse. But that's the story. Sorry this video got really long, but yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions or show some receipts I've got.
Still no receipts. Show us the receipts. Dude screams believe all women but lies for pussy. Does he scream believe all women? That's the thing I don't understand. I know a bit about it. We got this, I guess. What's this? Harry Sisson's convinced 11 different women that he had no roster and respected them for more than their bodies while persuading them to send explicit photos of themselves through Snapchat. Okay, see, I hate the framing of this shit. Who cares that they're a domestic abuse survivor? Literally couldn't care less. Literally don't give a fuck how much you were battered about by your ex. Totally irrelevant to assessing whether or not he did something wrong. Thank you for the super chats. I fucking hate the framing of this shit, dude. Okay, what is this clip?
To all of the men out there who are going around to women saying, your body, my choice, number one, you're weird. Number two, this is why women don't like you. This is why when you go to the bar.
Oh no, okay, dude, yeah. This is like, what is it? What's his name? What's the guy's name? Hunter Avallone. This is like Hunter Avallone levels of like hubristic commentary where he's saying all this shit. Meanwhile, he is like a shitter behind the scenes.
Bar, they don't come home with you. And that girl that you were talking to in the bar and she went to find her friends, she wasn't looking for her friends. She was looking for the door to get away from you. Just respect people. It's that easy.
No! But, bro, don't say that because it's going to be revealed that you don't actually respect women unless you can look at their fucking gaped asshole. No, don't do it. Okay, yeah. I mean, look, it is very, you know, hubristic shit to like say this kind of stuff when behind the scenes you were, you know, basically, allegedly, I've not seen the evidence yet, allegedly misleading women to look at pictures of their asshole. But like, dude, this stuff is so stupid, man. Like, one from a domestic abuse survivor. It's like Hunter Avallone bragging about having the perfect red pill marriage. Meanwhile, it falls apart because she's seeking out a 6-man, all-black, piss orgy gangbang. It's like that kind of level, you know? That's the kind of way I'm looking at this. It's just kind of funny. It's like, ha, you fucking moron. Maybe you shouldn't have tried to respect women so much and you wouldn't be in this fucking problem. Right, okay, let's have a look. Receipts of Harry's snaps to Carly, part 1. I think that's a great idea. Bro, what is going on here? What? Dude? What is he doing? What is this? What is this, dude? He's in the fucking shower. Bro, wait, what, dude? Okay. That is a crazy picture. Okay. And then him just saying, God damn it. Presumably in response to a nude or something, I'm guessing. Well, I certainly... Okay, what is this? I certainly what you? Desire. Is that desire? Right. Okay. Right. I never lied to you. We were not exclusive and I made it abundantly clear I didn't want that and you said that was fine. I haven't done anything that wasn't allowed within the parameters we set. Oh, dude. Bro. You know, it's bad when he's talking about the parameters. Come on, man. What? What and why are you screenshotting? Okay, dude. Wait, what's this? Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Like, if a jeweler was making forgeries, you can't be a jeweler. Yeah, like, his ability to speak on these topics in the way that he has done is obviously severely undermined. Like I say, the mark of him, you know, being a non-woman respecter is going to stay with him. But I don't think that it means that he should be, like, destroyed. I don't think that, you know, he should be destroyed, necessarily. He should pivot towards red pill. That'd be more his fucking pace, I reckon. But yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, this does undermine his woman respecter credentials, certainly. Oh, this is the one we've seen. Damn, you're sexy. Psh, stop, don't. I'd fuck you raw after wine tasting, but that's just me. You're hot. Feels pretty great, I can't lie. So this is him just... Oh, bro, on September 11th, all days as well. He's gooning on September 11th. Come on, man. The verdict is you look sexy as fuck. Court adjourned. Oh, okay, Harry. I mean, these don't really show much. Lamau, see, your opinion is the only one that mattered. God, that ass is fat. Bro, what are these faces he's making? Dude, what the fuck is this face, dude? Why is he making these weird faces like that? What is that about? Women like this now, do they? They're like men making these weird little gooning troll face type thing. What? I just don't understand why he looks like this. Is that just what he looks like? Okay, I am taking notes. I am taking notes. Okay. Looks amazing in bed. Oh, God, dude. Couldn't agree more, beautiful. Okay, so these are the receipts. I mean, these don't really show us anything. Like, I understand that some of the stuff might not be screenshotted because it's Snapchat. But, like, they don't really prove anything, unfortunately. It's just, oh, here's him flirting with you. Okay, well, where's the stuff you were talking about the receipts of him, like, leading you on and stuff like that? So, pretty slim in terms of proving the case. But let's read on. Quote from Carly, I'm fighting for accountability, not only for myself, but on behalf of everyone who believed this guy was something that he's not. To this day, he has yet to acknowledge that he did anything wrong, and that's really sad. However, I have to say I am beyond blessed and frankly shocked to have connected with so many amazing people over these horrible experiences. Thank you for confirming that my feelings throughout those 9 months are valid. So it seems like he is trying to swerve any sort of, like, you know, criticism or scrutiny for this, right? Like, he's trying to say that she's just crazy, basically. Assuming that clip is talking about her, which I guess it is. As more women came forward, it was determined that 11 women were played by Harry. Played. 11 women have been played! Like, the way they're talking about it is, like, deranged, bro. Anyway.
If he had flat told us, hey, I am talking to other people.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make
when we
money
asked
off depressed people?
This whole thing is organized by Harry to prove to everyone he isn't gay.
Yes.
Okay,
Maybe.
that's
True. Thank you for
But
the
how
super
do I
chats,
make
guys.
money off depressed people?
That face says it all. He definitely has some form of thatism. He's got the face of a spurg lol.
Thank you for the super chat.
when all other people, when we asked, when all, like, a fucking dozen of us asked, hey, are you talking to anybody? Instead, he lied and said he did not have a roster and that he was not talking to anybody. If he had flat told us.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
How did she get hold of my DMs to you?
Thank you for the super chats. I guess I don't even necessarily disbelieve that he led these people on. It's just none of the evidence posted shows anything. It's just, here's us flirting. Another victim of Henry. Like, dude, the framing of this is crazy. A victim. I don't think these women are victims, okay? Like, that's a fucking insane framing. Someone doesn't have to be a victim. Like, you could be treated badly by someone without being a victim, right? You could be in a situation where someone has led you on, but you're not a victim. Victim suggests much more egregious or insidious behavior has been put upon you. It is an overreaction, I agree. See, this is what I'm talking, like, she actually seemed fairly, a few points I was a bit, like, okay, that sounds a bit fucking retarded. But generally speaking, she was calling him like a disgusting fuckboy. So, yeah, fine. But now we're getting to this person claiming they're a victim. Or I guess Sarah's calling them a victim. But they're also called Sarah. Anyway, another victim of Harry, Sarah, provided a long detailed video of her experience. I clipped it for the sake of time, but you can find a full video on a TikTok platform. Sarah is a DV survivor. She had posted about her DV experience in October of 2024 for DV Awareness Month. Receipts of her and her ex. Receipts are of her and her ex. So I do not like this one bit. Why the fuck are you posting? Dude, it just feels like this is being posted in order to try and, like, make people think of domestic violence in the context of this Sisson's guy. That feels completely out of order. And like you're just doing it because you want to create a false connection that isn't there. Like, what relevance is this? I literally don't care that this woman got battered blue. It doesn't matter to me because we're dealing with this guy here. Yeah, sure, it sounds like the guy was abusive. Fuck that guy. But that's not what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with claims against this Sisson's dude. It comes across as very malicious.
He did inform me that there was...
We'll watch the whole video as well. Following this experience is where she was convinced by Harry to share explicit photos of herself and was told that she was the only one. Following this experience? Okay, do you mean that, you know, this guy immediately jumped into DMs when she posted that and was like, send me pictures of your tits? Or are we just talking about the normal linear passage of time in that this happened and later they spoke and later he got nudes from her? Like, you're making it sound like he's jumping in there straight away, trying to see the tit pics of a fucking domestic violence survivor, when it seems more to me like they just so happened to speak after she'd spoken about this. Is there any evidence or anything that point to him, you know, misbehaving in regards to this? And what I mean by that, of him taking advantage or manipulating her or putting on that he cares deeply about her as a domestic violence survivor in order to solicit photos from her.
He did inform me that there was no roster, essentially implying I was the only person he was talking to, the only person he was receiving photos from. And I was, again, fine with that. But of course, if you're going to tell me that there's no roster and I'm the only person you're talking to...
Okay. Can someone play Mate Sarah?
Okay,
Can someone find me the full
but how
thing
do I make money
while I look at the other
off
stuff?
depressed
If not, I'll
people?
find it myself.
How do you make money off depressed people? Who actually knows? A real
Indeed.
mystery. You got me at least.
Thank you for the super chat. Let's go. Another goal has just begun. Thank you. So just to be clear then, these bruises are nothing to do with Harry and it's solely to do with her ex. I mean, it's just deranged. It's just deranged and obviously completely unreasonable to post pictures of your bruise that you got from an ex in relation to... And it also, I think Sarah's doing this, to be clear. Like, this is where the Republican op shit comes in. Of trying very strongly to associate these together. I don't even know if she has done that. I think it's more so her
that's
posting
wonderful.
it this way.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
It would be one thing if at least one of these foids was underage. These are all dumb women getting steamrolled by Sisson's white privilege.
Okay,
Thank
that's
you.
wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Hey babe, it looks like your face took quite the battering. I bet your asshole could use one as well.
That is crazy. From Harry Sissons, thank you. That is quite the chat up line. I'm gonna try that myself. Like, I'm being serious. Sarah, okay, I'm not even gonna bother reading this. This is completely irrelevant to the matter at hand. This has nothing to do with Harry. This is all about her abusive ex, which, as far as I understand, is not meaningfully related to Harry in any way. That is extremely cancerous behaviour on the part of whoever decided to link those two. I'm guessing this Sarah Fields person. Okay. What else have we got? Let me find her video real quick. What's she called again? Playmate. Interesting name. I wonder what that could be. I don't know what that means. Here we go. Playmate Sarah on TikTok. Where is it? This is it here, I guess. The pinned video. Yeah.
In that comment section, I saw another woman say something.
Hello. I am the girl that left the comment on Harry's video. We had been briefly interacting the end of last year to the beginning of this year. We stopped talking and he soft launched a girlfriend. The timing felt...
Okay, soft launched a girlfriend is just, we're using like tech terms to describe relationships now. It's like never been more over for us.
very weird and very close. So I had commented something about, I wonder if this was before, during, or after when we were talking, to which Carly saw my comment and DM'd me. Also, if you haven't watched Carly's videos, please go watch them. They are very important. She's talked a lot about what she's gone through, and it is, to me, very important for people to hear that and listen to her story. My personal interactions with Harry were very specific. They pretty much revolved around me sending explicit photos that he had requested very specific ones of. I did not have a problem with sending photos to him. I was fine with being casual with him, but I was very upfront with him as well and let him know that I was looking for a relationship. And I did think that maybe he would be looking for one as well, because I didn't kind of see him, the way he presents himself online, as someone who would just be looking for explicit photos and having a very casual interaction with someone frequently. As we continued to speak a little bit more, he did inform me that there was no roster, essentially implying I was the only person he was talking to, the only person he was receiving photos from, and I was, again...
See, it's like, okay, so there's two people saying this, but there's also two people that have talked to each other and, like, you know, like colluded. Not collude. Well, colluded, I guess, is a word for it. But the problem is now I'm like, well, is this a reflection? Like, if they had come forward separately and said their piece, I'd be more believing of it without question. But the fact they've now both got the same story could be because he's doing the same thing, or could be because they've spoken to each other, and that can have like a negative detriment on the actual truthfulness of, or the reality of what a story is being said. It's why, if you're in the situation where, you know, there's suggestion that this is going on, you should do your best to, you know, separate out from one another and then tell your story separately, rather than,
that's wonderful.
You know, doing it collectively. Because now I'm like, well, I don't know what to make of that now. Thank you for the super chat. Cheese G's, hope you're well. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. So yeah, now I'm a bit like, okay, this is why I just need something more hard line that shows him engaging in this behavior, because, you know, I'm not even necessarily willing to accept the claims. I think he led them on. I think I'm willing to accept that, but I don't know if, like, the way they're painting it is an accurate reflection of what actually happened without seeing the messages myself.
Fine with that, but of course, if you're going to tell me that there's no roster and I'm the only person you're talking to, I'm going to believe that. While my interactions and my time speaking with Harry were somewhat brief, and I did send him a good amount of explicit photos.
My time with Harry was brief, and I did send him a good amount of explicit photos. What? Oh my god. You're not going to fucking believe this. You will not literally going to... Look who's in the comments. Fucking Cam Nuggets. Bro, Cam Nuggets. Bro, this guy. What is it? What is this guy's problem, dude? Lol, bro did nothing wrong. Cam, I know you ain't talking. How the fuck? Bro, Cam Nuggets gets about, doesn't he? It seems like this person even knows who Cam Nuggets is. I cannot believe Cam Nuggets is just there. And the Sarah person seems to know him. First name basis too, Cam. Mr. Nugget, not Mr. Nuggets, Cam. Fucking hell, man.
I think my biggest disappointment was I had supported him as a fan, a supporter for a very long time. I really believed that he was a person who genuinely cared for women more than for just their bodies.
Thank you for the super chats.
And I understand that I was fine sending that content, but the interactions I had with him kind of just showed me that he really does kind of just care for at least my body more than who I am. After Carly had reached out, we started talking. We realized we had pretty much the exact same experience.
Then why would you send that? Because, I mean, I don't know how old this person is. She looks a bit older. Looks like she should be a bit wiser. But, yeah, I mean, you know. I mean, if the guy presents himself publicly as the woman respecter, him demanding, like, nudes or wanting nudes surely would undermine that a bit, but these women look past that. But, you know, if you're younger, I'm more willing to believe it's because you're naive. But the older you get, the more that you should surely be aware that this is like, it doesn't matter what he's saying. What matters is what his behavior is, you know?
It was just on the shorter end, and hers was a lot more intimate, I guess you could call it. It went on for a lot longer. They spoke a lot more. But she, of course, was under the impression that she was also the only one that he was talking to. And then the ball started rolling, and more girls came forward saying they thought they were the only one he was talking to because that was what he had told them. Our last conversation, I did let him know that I was very disappointed because he was very different than what I thought he would be like. He was different online than he is in real life. And I let him know that. I was really sad and upset and bummed that someone that I thought really respected women and women's rights and stood up for women telling their stories and how they feel and how men made them feel. It really hurt to know that he was not the type of person that he presented himself to be online, to me at least. And then when I started to get to know the other incredible women that I've met through this, they all went through the exact same thing. The reason that
That's true and all, but you're going to send him intimate photos. This is salmon teasing the bear and being shot. Okay. I mean, surely, right, we've got to take into account, like, he obviously is presenting, well, I need to watch more of his content to determine 100%. But he does come across, just for the few clips that I've seen, of, like, the woman respecter guy. Yeah, I really respect women, guys, and their stories are important. And then when he's on the chopping block, all of a sudden that goes out the window and they're just crazy bitches, right? I don't know, dude. Like, I'm not saying, again, just to be clear, I don't think this guy needs to be fucking destroyed. I don't think this guy needs to be, like, cancelled. I'm just saying that there's an element of fucking around and finding out here. And it feels like his forward-facing personality he is saying things that he doesn't necessarily truly believe or live up to, right? Something like that. Now, I would agree with you that if some fucking Republican is trying to shill this, right, to you, you're well within your rights to tell them to get fucked, because they've got very, I am growing increasingly frustrated with some of the MAGA tardation, okay? I get that. But just beyond that, I think you can look at his behavior publicly and privately and recognize that he is, being dishonest. I think that's fine to point out without getting into all the political ramifications of it, But yeah.
I am making this video is because I feel it's very important to hold people accountable. I had watched Harry for a very long time, like I said, and his persona online.
But we're acting like he are these bitch. Okay, I'm certainly not doing that. I don't think people in chat are doing that. There's people online that are doing that, and I've already criticized that. But I'm certainly not doing that, right?
At least to me, was very different than who he was in real life. And that really kind of made me sad, bummed me out.
Now. Didn't make dinner? Beaten. Dog got loose? Beaten. Breathe too loud? Beaten.
Thank you for the super chats.
Upset me because I felt like he was a person who was a safe space for a lot of people and a lot of women who had been through trauma, which...
Bro! Yeah, this is why you don't cultivate an audience of retarded bitches, because this shit happens, okay? Bro, the people are coming to you thinking you're a safe space for women. You need to put the message out that I'm quite the opposite, in fact. And particularly if you're a member of The Raped, this stream is likely to be incredibly traumatizing for you, and you should stop watching immediately, okay? Trigger warning, if you are The Raped, you will be upset. Fuck off. Okay.
Speaking of that, you can go watch Carly's story about how they began speaking. But I think it's very important to hold people accountable and have them be aware that the way they present themselves online should match who they are as a human and how they interact with other people and women who feel that you are a safe space offline.
Oh my God,
if I have learned anything from this experience, it's to not trust that people are going to be the exact same offline that they are online. And besides anything else that's happened, I have gained the most incredible group of friends that have dealt with this situation as well. They are some of the most beautiful people I've ever met. And for that, thank you, Harry. I am grateful that you were able to introduce me to some of my now very close friends. So if nothing else came from that, I appreciate that. So again, I am grateful for this experience.
So
because
unless I missed it, where did she mention about the fact that she was a domestic violence victim and then he preyed on her or pounced on her in some way? It feels like that is a elaboration that this rightoid fucking dickhead on Twitter is making, rather than it being something she's claiming herself, unless she says it in the last minute. I don't really think she framed it like that at all, or said it like that at all.
Because of the people that I've met. But I think it is important to be
the basic point I'm making is, in these original videos, these women, aside from a few moments where I think they're being a bit retarded, right? The stories that they're telling are not that insane or crazy. It's like, he's a fuckboy and he led me along.
A bunch
right?
of selfish bitches that are pretending that there isn't enough of hung Harry to go around.
Thank you for the tip. But it just seems like this has been spun into more than it is. And I think it is an intentional political hit piece. I think this person, like I said right at the start, is clearly brought all this together because they want to, create a dossier against this guy. When this is just, this guy is a fucking disgusting fuckboy. And that seems to be it. Oh, and he's a hypocrite, I guess. He's a hypocrite because he proposes all this pro-feminist shit when he's not really pro-feminist. You know? So, I think you can have a take on it, obviously, but yeah, you shouldn't just accept the Republican framing of this. Clearly, there's a big political element in bringing this together to try and like destroy this guy in some way.
With what you believe in and your platform online.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make
and
money
not
off
call
depressed
women.
Hey!
Destiny covered this yet?
Not sure. Thank you for the $50, J Meta. Very generous. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Like Carly and I, lunatics when we come forward and say that you hurt our feelings. It's very indicative of the type of person that you are, as opposed to just taking accountability and apologizing that you made someone feel a certain way. And I think when you have a platform as big as he does,
Okay,
that
that's
he
wonderful. But
holds
how do I
men
make money
accountable
off depressed
for
people?
hurting women,
Bigger
I think
super
it's
chats.
important that he should do the same with his own actions. That is really all
Yeah, I don't like the language being used, but like what they're saying and what they're like fundamentally asking for. You present yourself as a woman respecter, but you're not. You fuck me around. Answer to that. I think that's fine. I think that's a totally reasonable, like, put yourself in this woman's shoes. You can understand feeling a little bit fucked off about this. It's everyone else that's the problem. It's everyone else spinning this up into this massive R story that is the deranged part. But the women themselves, I don't think are that crazy. And I feel this thread even does them a disservice. Because she's not even being that insane about it, aside from some language I don't like and a few points. It's like, mainly just, yeah, this guy led me on and fucked me about. Okay, fair enough, yeah. He should probably answer for that because he presents himself as this male feminist guy, and that should be the end of it. Fine.
to say. I am showing all of the most incredible support.
Yes, but why
Okay,
do they
that's
need...
wonderful.
That's such
But
a
how do I
weird way
make
of putting
money
it, is it
off
not?
depressed people?
Tell her that you'll tongue punch her shitbox into a bloody mess. Absolute Riz, you'll win her over easy.
What, like, why do they need to talk about it? Why does anyone need to talk about anything? Like, they're just talking about a bad experience they had with a famous person. Right? And that's fine. Like, I don't think, like, as much as I disagree with, like, some stuff turning into the story that it does, I think the better way to frame it is the reaction that's wrong. But I don't think you can take away people's right to speak about a situation as long as they're doing so honestly and fairly and not spinning it up into some insane narrative or, you know, pushing for some extreme consequence. And I don't know what consequence they're looking for. If they were saying this guy needs to lose his platform and be destroyed, yeah, I sincerely disagree with that. But if it's more like, you know, he just needs to fucking speak on this because his private behavior contradicts with his public persona, that's fine. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Tell her your tongue punch your shitbox into... Okay, that's crazy, but thank you for the super chat.
Support to Carly. She is one of the most beautiful people I've ever met. And I am here for anyone who's experienced anything similar. And thank you for listening.
In that comment section.
Okay, so that's the full video. Like, it just doesn't match the energy presented here. Like, dude, this is so dishonest, the way this fucking stupid bitch has presented it. This has got nothing to do with her being a domestic violence survivor. And this woman didn't make it about her being a domestic violence survivor. But this person has, because it's more politically convenient to do so. And to include, like, photos of her beaten. What a deranged thing to do. It's fucking gross. It's grotesque behaviour. Anyway, moving on. More of Harry's lies. Here we go. Right. Some honest. Hopefully this is going to show us something, because all of the fucking screenshots so far have been fucking dire at showing ill intent or behaviour on Harry's part. But let's see. You definitely have a lot to offer, no doubt, I think, right now. I can't do exclusivity. Not because I'm getting nudes from a bunch of girls or fucking girls and stuff. I don't hook up with anyone ever. But because I just don't think I'd be able to commit 100% to something. Okay, so it does seem like he's being deceptive about the, like, all the communication he's receiving.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Yes, we'll get to the Dean with his response. Thank you for the $2. Also, since we live in different states, exclusivity would be hard. So I'm not balancing a bunch of girls at once. My mind and energy are just in other places right now, and I don't have much more to give. Well, he is being deceptive here. And he doesn't even need to say that. Like, he doesn't even have to say that. Like, he is doing that. He is fucking playing the field and talking to different women. But he's saying it here. Like, that's dishonest. That's like dishonest behavior, right? I think, yeah. This is a lesson. This is a fucking lesson for women. Like, if a guy is fucking saying this, he's probably bullshitting you, right? Women handle it differently. Women don't tend to... It's just expected that they're going to play the field, right? Generally speaking. Generally speaking, if a woman tells you they're not doing it, they're probably telling the truth. Because if they are, they just won't tell you or mention it, you know? Or they will to make you jealous, right? But if a guy's saying it, it's probably nonsense, right? It's not that there's competition. I'm not getting needs from a bunch of girls or HU with a bunch of girls. Okay. So he is being deceptive here, sure. Quite slim. I'm not seeing any, like, the way it's being painted is this leading on aspect. I haven't seen anything to back up the idea that he's leading them on in the first place. But he's definitely being, like, evasive and deceptive here, sure. Anyway, what else have we got? One of the women who is terrified of Harry's retaliation. Okay. So, is she reasonably terrified of his retaliation or not? Because if it's like her own head that she's terrified, well, that's ridiculous. But if he genuinely is threatened or is seeming like he's going to retaliate, that's bad. So I need to see more about that before I can really say, like, is that irrational or not? You know? Can they not spot being led on? Well, like I said earlier, people could be young and naive. The first person even recognised they were naive, so fair play to them. But there is an element of him presenting himself in a certain way. Maybe makes it harder for people to identify it. But one of the women who is terrified of Harry's retaliation has stated that Harry assured her that the screenshots were all fake, but also told her that he doesn't feel bad about lying about personal things. He told her he didn't lie to her, though. He then asked her if she wouldn't mind telling people that she had seen screenshots from him proving they were fake, even though she had not. I've been provided the evidence for this. However, she does not want to have the screenshots provided publicly. If the status of this changes, I will provide receipts. Well, I don't know you from fucking Adam, so I'm not going to trust anything you say without evidence. And you've already dishonestly presented something in a way that, you know, massively diminishes my trust in this person. So this, I'm not going to even consider as real until I see proof of that. It's kind of crazy to me that people are just like, he's a dumb kid. Yeah, I don't think he's a dumb kid, right? I don't think he's a dumb kid. I think that it's more realistic to say that he is, like, you know, young and still developing an understanding of relationships. And I think men in their early 20s, I'm not surprised to see them acting like this. I think that's, you know, I think that's pretty standard, that when you're in your late teens, early 20s, you engage in this kind of like shitter fuckboy behavior, you know? Particularly if you've got a burgeoning like success in something like online. Harry's video of the thirst trap. It is unclear if this new girlfriend is aware of the other women, but after the day, I'm pretty sure she'll be made aware. Dude. No. Copyright. I mean, this is like fucking deranged shit. This is like fucking deranged behavior from this guy. Posting a video of you like this? I mean, what? Very like, you know, broadcast every element of your life type behavior. Like, no, we don't need to see this shit, dude. Oh my god, dude, this is so pathetic, man. Oh, look at me, I've got a girlfriend, guys. Jesus Christ, dude. Harry has not apologised for his behaviour and called all of these women insane as seen at the top of this thread. Well, I don't know if he's called all the women insane. He seemed to be referring to one particular person, which I guess is the first person. End thread. As a survivor of DV and as the parent of a child who survived SA, both of us were doxxed by Harry 2 years ago. Okay, well, I don't know anything about that. Need to see something to show. Well, I don't know anything about that happening. I don't trust this person. Clearly politically motivated. Don't know what relevance any of this has got. I did. Yeah, this thread fucking sucks. There's something in here. There's a criticism to be made of fucking this guy's behavior. But this thread is not it. Very dishonestly presented. Clearly a political fucking smear hit job thing. I will not tolerate any degrading comments about these women. They are all young. I believe they have definitely learned a lesson here. At least I hope they did. Harry is a narcissistic abuser. Fucking hell, bro. He's not a narcissistic abuser, man. Come on. That is a crazy framing. I do not agree with the extremity of the language here. And if you listen to the people that are coming forward, so, I mean, maybe this Twitter space changes it. They were calling him like a fuckboy, right? They were saying that he led them on. No one's using this language yet but this person here. Is a fuckboy not an abuser? Not necessarily, no. I mean, I think being a fuckboy involves behaviour which, you know, is shitty and manipulative. But I don't think that that means you're a narcissistic abuser. I think that that's like another level of behaviour that you need to get to. Like, this isn't abuse, okay? Like, let's be fucking realistic here. Like, we can call something bad without... Like, this is the fucking genocide thing all over again. Something could be bad without being a genocide. Something could be bad without being abuse. You don't need to call it this language. I don't think it is this language. He's like a disgusting, sleazy fuckboy or something like that, you know? That's the kind of level that I would see it at. He's like a sleazy hypocrite. Yeah, sure. Something like that. Not abuse. He took advantage of a dozen women at the same time for nearly a year. I do not condone the behaviour of these women, but I do know what it feels like to be manipulated by a narcissist when I was younger. Nasty comments such as they deserve it or calling them derogatory names will result in a block. Okay. So we've got another woman now coming forward too.
I've slept all of 1 hour.
I'll be back in one sec, by the way. I'm still listening.
Because of this shit. So you're getting a speed run of my side. And then I'm never fucking talking about this again. Because this was insanely ridiculous. For me personally, this wasn't that deep in the aspects of relationship issues because I knew that this guy was a player. We started talking like 2 years ago, stopped talking a few days after New Year's, a few days before the TikTok ban, somewhere in there. And it was on and off for those years, very casual. The part that pissed me off was that this almost cost me a friendship with a really great girl. As you guys know, he was on my live on a panel like right after the election. I let him up on the panel. He was there, whatever. After that, I had said something about wanting more women to get into the debate space, and if you wanted to DM me. And so Reese, my good friend, did. She DM'd me. This was...
So it's worth noting, at the start, she's like, yeah, like she recognize, like, she's not even making a serious allegation. You see what I mean? Like, she's not even making a serious claim or allegation here. And it's being framed in the worst possible way. Like, you've got to recognize the distinction between what is worthy of talking about and criticizing and what part of this is like the political smear job that's being engaged in.
Also to find out if him and I were talking because of the way that he acted towards me in the live and the way that I reciprocated that. She DM'd me and asked me if him and I were talking, and I said no because I didn't know her and didn't want people in my business, and I had spent 2 years keeping that violently under wraps from you guys. And then I found out that she was talking to him, and so I backed off. I didn't speak to him after that for a good long while because I'm not gonna sit here and compete for a fucking TikToker. And then her and I became friends. She would come up on my panel. We talked on the phone before and after lives constantly. We got really close. And then one day I get a DM. The DM was from this guy. He said, basically, I need you to do me a favor. I said, what was the favor? He said, I need you to block Reese. And me, I wanted to get both sides of the story. And so, long story short, I communicated with her. I communicated with him. He told me that everything she told me was fake, a lie, and that she was crazy. And
so, again, without more proof, but like it does seem like he's maybe playing this game of like trying to like move beyond getting discussed or exposed or whatever for this by being dishonest, right? If what she's saying is true. But again, her problem is losing a friend over this behavior. It's not that she's saying he's abusive or something, right?
And because I knew him for 2 years, and because I thought that he was a half decent person, like maybe a player, but a half decent person, I blocked her. And that's something I have to take responsibility for, is that I allowed a guy to use me to aid in ostracizing a girl from the internet completely, because he didn't like that she talked to her friends and a couple of texts got leaked. The rest of me and him talking was still casual, but I had been in a position at that point where I didn't want something casual anymore. I didn't want to mess around like that anymore. I wanted something serious. I told him so. I basically told him, hey, I'm going to be in DC at this time. If you're not there, I'm taking this as a sign not to talk to you anymore. He said he was going to be there, and then a couple days later said he wasn't going to be there. Took it as a sign, stopped talking to him. He ended up being there, and I violently avoided him while I was there. We did not see each other. We did not interact, but we're in town at the same time. I wasn't talking to him when he did this soft launch. He wasn't talking to me. However, yes, it is true. He still has things saved in our chats as of right now.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed
to
people?
get that going when I get off of here?
Thank you for the super chat. I'm good, thanks.
Approve of that being there. So yeah, that's my side. If you want to hear the other women's sides who are much more serious than that, I will be tagging them below. You can go ahead and see their stories for yourself. The entire point of this was to
The other issue with this is, like, again, this is like the cultivation of the CDO of allegation thing, where everyone feels like they need to come forward and you know, tell their story of what happened, and it's like, you know, I mean, I don't really, I'm not particularly like blown away by this story. I'm like, okay, sounds like he was a bit of a shitter or something. I don't know. I'm like, okay, yeah, it sounds like he's a shitty person. Right? I don't know. Like, we're just... there's nothing here where I'm like, oh, yeah, this is the silver bullet that shows he's actually an abusive narcissist. Right? It's just like, yeah, he sounds like a shitty person on a personal level. You know?
Hold somebody accountable who has amassed a large, very female, very young following by claiming that they support women, that they respect women, and this is evidence otherwise. This isn't for clout. None of us are doing this for clout. This is to show you unacceptable behavior by somebody who has portrayed themselves to be someone that they are not.
So this is the other narrative as well that I think that people are missing when they say things like, oh, who cares about what this guy's a fuckboy? Well, I don't really care about someone being a fuckboy. but there is a dishonesty present here. Like, in terms of, it seems like he does present himself as not that kind of guy, but he is that kind of guy, right? Something like that. They're all so white. It's like 6 of the exact same women. Yes, true. But, you know, I don't know, dude. It just seems one of those situations, but it's definitely a criticism to be had, and it's turned into some fucking deranged, overstated campaign, which I think is definitely politically motivated from certain Republicans, like the person that made this thread, to like completely wreck this guy.
And to warn the young girls on this app to be really careful about who you talk to. Please go follow and watch the lovely women I'm going to tag below and hear their sides.
Bro, who cares? I mean, if you don't care, then that's fine. I understand that you don't care about this, right? But I think there is something to care about here, just not to the level people are saying. If someone presents themselves as a woman respecter and they're not, I think that's worthy of some consideration.
What happened to slut shaming isn't okay. Isn't he just practicing his bodily autonomy? His body, his choice, handshake emoji, let the man dip his wick, saluting face
Thank you for the
emoji.
super chats.
But as of now, we're going back to our regularly scheduled fucking program, and we're not talking about this anymore. At least I'm not.
Yeah, any indication of low integrity is worth consideration. Yeah, exactly. That's it. He's demonstrated a lack of integrity. Sure, I think that's, yeah. Does anyone disagree with that? His behaviour here seems to demonstrate a lack of integrity. I think that's fine. That's probably a good little way of framing it. Another woman who claims to have known Harry for years, since they were teens, has come by forward. Okay. She states that Harry is predatory and manipulative, and that he's been doing this for a long time. I mean, she is the ugliest one by far, so far. So maybe she feels a bit, you know, a bit out of joint with it. I don't know. I understand the ugliest one has got the strongest claim, to be honest with you. She also stated that when she first came forward that no one believed her. We believe you, Hannah. Harry has me blocked just for everyone's info.
And also any person who has been a victim of this certain political TikToker, I am always available to talk. If you need support or just somebody to talk to, I'm here. I'm gonna try to get through this without crying. I'm mostly crying because I'm really proud of all of these girls for coming forward, because I know how manipulative and conniving and overall dangerous this political TikToker is. And for so long, because I've been talking about him and his disgusting behavior for over a year now, nobody believed me.
Okay. Yeah, this just feels like I'm immediately completely like, oh, I don't know, this feels weird. I don't like this one. I don't like this one bit. Feels like she's got like a big axe to grind. Yeah, she would need to be providing me with some pretty solid evidence to back up what she's saying. I'm immediately distrustful of this individual.
You know, I had a few people that obviously did. It was just like, it was never taken serious.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
And like, above all, I'm pissed because
Thank you for the super chats and fixed.
he is the same fucking guy that's gonna end up in the fucking political hierarchy that has all of these allegations but has too much power within to ever be actually taken down. That's exactly where he's headed, and he's been heading there for so long. As somebody who's known him...
See, look, taken down. Right. So straight up, so the other women were talking about accountability, a phrase that rubs me up the wrong way, but they weren't specific about it, and their energy didn't seem to be that he should be destroyed, whereas this person seems to want to destroy the guy. So if you want to destroy someone, what action could you engage in that would lead you to, like, maybe present things in certain ways in the worst possible light? Yeah, I do not like the destroy stuff. I think that I'm immediately like, okay, hang on a minute. Slow down, slow down. Destroy him. Also, the other thing that's frustrating about this, what like mechanism are you looking for with which to destroy this person? You know, what, a bunch of people being angry on the internet? Like, what has he actually done that justifies this destruction? I think if you were saying that, you know, people should be more aware of his behavior and how it contradicts his public persona, fine, sure, that's fair. But not to destroy the guy. What the what?
Since I was 18, and we were incredibly close. We met in person a few times. I really don't care if he makes an apology. I don't care if he takes accountability. I don't care about all that because it's going to be fake, and I can promise you that. And it's going to be gaslighting.
So any action that you could potentially take is not like, the only thing is complete and total destruction, because anything he's going to do is going to be fake. Well, then you're setting up the circumstances where it seems like your suggestion that he be destroyed is the only possible solution. Well, that seems fucked to me. That seems like totally unreasonable. That this is the first, you know, time we've become aware of this, and you're telling me that he needs to be totally destroyed. And he can't even fucking apologize for it, apparently, because this is going to be fake. Well, let him state himself what he thinks and how he responds to this, and we'll go from there. And if there's concerns with it, we can talk about that. Not immediately jump to, well, it's going to be fake, so let's just fucking destroy the guy. Yeah, this person, as I said, I feel my skepticism is running its true course here. We should be skeptical. This person seemed very deranged. They seemed to want to destroy the guy, where the other women seemed far more reasonable in much of what they were saying.
Everybody. He's an incredibly sick individual, fairly perverted, and he's been getting away with this.
How? Show me something! Any evidence?
So fucking long. It got to a point where it was just too exhausting to even try to, you know, put stuff out. I am really happy that it's gaining traction now. And I think she worded it perfectly. The woman that I stitched, it's like these champions for women, right? And the idolizing of these men that care about women. It's just a ploy to try to get into their pants. You know, it's not like I could go through everything that he has done.
How do I make money
I could probably make
off depressed people?
Oh my god, victim, 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 you got played. Womp womp Naya. Yay, he's an awful person, but you're not a victim. Did he spread the nudes? Yes? No? Cause if not, learn from this and move
Thank
on.
you for the $10, Bungus. And
wonderful.
Caleb with the $5.
But how do I make
Thank you.
money off depressed people?
The only thing that will ruin all of this is if Harry's response is mega cucked. If he just apologizes, then he should be destroyed.
Well, I mean, I don't think it needs to be cucked. I think he can find a middle ground, a balance that, you know, rightly defends himself against the more extreme claims, whilst also, you know, rationalizing or accounting for the fact that he presents himself in a certain way whilst behaving like this, right? I don't know. There's probably a balance you can strike.
Freaking novel on it. And if you want, I can talk about some of them that I remember. Some of them I can't talk about because I'm legally not allowed to do so. Or it's legally a bad idea for me to talk about it. You know. But I do want to say to this woman, thank you so much for coming forward. I didn't have strength for a while to be persistent on this. And you gave me that back. Thank you. And to all of the other victims, again, I'm always here.
Bro, what is this comment? I mean, what did they expect? The dude looks like he enjoys it up the shitter. Of course he behaved like a woman and play them all. Right, okay. So we did have some more allegations come through. There's still more to go through this. Overall, after the first thread, the guy does seem like a fuckboy. It does seem like he's probably manipulated some of these people. He's probably been dishonest and led people on. What should the punishment for that be? Well, I don't really see it as a punishment. It's like, he is still, you know, yes, he's in his early 20s. But that is the time where you, I think, behave badly with this stuff. And then you hopefully learn from it and move on. So I don't think this guy needs to be destroyed over this. I don't think he needs needs to be like cancelled or whatever. I just think that, you know, it's hopefully
If
like
he
a
has-
learning thing for him. That being said, I think it does undermine his attempt to present himself as like the woman respecter on the internet. And I think that is probably going to have some consequence because, you know, he's presenting himself in a certain way and his private behavior has undermined that. And that's just the way it goes. But I wouldn't want that to lead to like broader destruction of his career or something. I think that, you know, some social criticism and then maybe people kind of looking at him in a different way because of this is fine. But the kind of destruction these people are, well, one person is calling for, the last person is deranged. But if you actually listen to what these women are saying, they're not actually that unreasonable. Like, they're all fairly reasonable in what they're saying. They're not saying he should be destroyed. They're not saying that he abused them or raped them or something. This woman's framing, this Sarah person, I think she's got an axe to grind and clearly has got some prior connection with this guy. And I think that she is trying to paint this in the worst possible light in order to try and fucking destroy this guy. I got Nick's DM. Don't worry, I'm getting there. Relax. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Relax. Relax, I'm going to get there. Don't worry, guys. So then Sarah posted another tweet about this. Be prepared. More and more women are coming forward about Harry Sisson. My inbox is filling up, and that's okay. Keep them coming. If you don't want your identity shared, I'll keep you anonymous, and that's a promise. 2 more women have just come forward, and one of them is alleging that Harry groomed a minor. So we've gone from he's a fuckboy to he's a groomer. Okay, well, that's a fucking massive claim. And we're definitely going to need to see some evidence of that, because that is a fucking massive claim. None of this is going to be ignored. My TikTok is being mass reported. I'm receiving some of the nastiest messages I've received in a long time. And a group has banded together and has attempted to community knit my posts with some of the most ridiculous notes I've seen. I'm not going to stop. I'll not be intimidated. I was made for this. Bring it on. Okay. Don't really care that much about that, but sure. Okay. So, Sarah's not censored is not a reporter. That's the community note. Well, she clearly is biased and politically motivated, though. I think that's fair to point out. Okay, so apparently, allegedly, this got deleted. And it's no longer visible. But fortunately, we got it here. Let's have a look. Here's the tweet. The girl came with receipts, and the allegations are very serious, because in this video, she accused him of allegedly grooming a minor. This might be it for Harry Sisson. If I were to guess why they are all on the phone with their attorneys, I think this might be it. What? So what is the evidence for this? And also notice this comment here. This might be it for Harry Sisson. So it's very evident that this person just wants to destroy this guy. Right? It's so obvious, despite her, you know, attempts to seem like she's just reasonably bringing this forward. No, this is like some sort of political or personal hit job, possibly both, that she's engaging in. She's literally licking her lips at the thought of this guy getting destroyed. So let's have a look at what this person had to say. Here we go. I think this is the TikTok. Provide evidence. Here we go. Oh, whoa!
Shall we? So before I get into these around 50 screenshots providing evidence and context for anything that I have said, I do want to reiterate something just for even more context. I met Harry in summer of 2020. We were both kind of like the original political TikTokers.
Hooligans became a member.
Hey!
Hooligans celebrates 3 months of membership. Chud is fair.
Thank you for the membership.
And we were on the Dem High Pass, which was a huge political TikTok account. our relationship has always been friend-based. However, when I did go to Jersey to visit my aunt, he has a summer house there, so we did hook up a couple times. So it was kind of like friends with benefits, but it was kind of established that if we saw each other in person, we'd probably hook up. But our conversations
off depressed people.
I support this man's career in politics as a burger flipper in the White House. Good on these women for tearing him down. He'd treat me no better.
Thank you. Thank you for the super chat.
Side of seeing each other in person or whatever, we're never really like flirty or anything like that. So I was never under any sort of impression that we were exclusive ever. We never were like that. So my story is going to be different than a lot of these girls. Just putting that out there. So up until about maybe the beginning of 2023, I would have considered Harry one of my best friends. And let me know if you see a pattern here, but what really kicked that off.
So they were friends and they also hooked up. And now you want to just like, dude, this person is just reeks of like scorn. So yeah. Like, this I think was the video. This is the video, right? This is the thing that is apparently the proof of them having groomed, I guess. Yeah, this is the video. It's the same. Yeah, this is the one. It's her and a... Yeah, this is the same thing. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, let's see what she's got, because it's a pretty big claim. Let's see what she's got to prove this.
Was that he was the one recording my rapist when I called him and got him admitting to raping me on audio, okay? Which was great, whatever. And then Harry started drinking.
Wait, what?
So my story is going to be different than a lot of these girls. Just putting that out there. So up until about maybe the beginning of 2023, I would have considered Harry one of my best friends. And let me know if you see a pattern here, but what really kicked that off was that he was the one recording my rapist when I called him and got him admitting to raping me on audio, okay?
Another member of the raped. Everyone is just so raped nowadays, man. Holy fuck.
Which was great, whatever. And then Harry started drinking. So when Harry started drinking, he started getting a lot more aggressively flirty. I apologize for my hand tremors. I can't control them. But if you want to pause and screenshot those.
Okay, bro, it's backwards.
These are times in which Harry, if you want to pause and screenshot those.
It's backwards. It's back, bro. I need to flip it round. I'm something pack in a second. I can't read it. I literally can't read it, bro.
These are times in which Harry was getting obliterated drunk and calling, FaceTiming, and saying very sexual things to me. I didn't really care. You know, it's whatever. Drunk words, sober thoughts, you get it. And then this is when I noticed kind of a shift in Harry. He started to gain a lot more attention, a lot more of a following, and he created a Discord, in which it was a very exclusive Discord, and very strange, creepy people were allowed in the Discord.
Disavow.
I was in it for a little bit, but
I'm guessing for a trip to see how bad the Holocaust was, right? Thank you for the super chat.
Like never allowed to talk in it, so that's where Harry meets somebody named Camille, okay? I was advised not to, by my father, not to pursue an internship or a job with this Camille guy because my dad said he looked sketchy. Harry decided to go ahead and do so. And this is when I started getting messages from a minor, whom I will not say the name, with autism, who is also in the Discord. He was probably around 14 at the time. And
thank you for the sub.
He was sending me some concerning things regarding what Camille would send to him. Those are things I cannot show for legal reasons, but very much so did happen, and I contacted his mom, everything. But you know who was working for him? Harry. And I told Harry about everything that Camille was doing. Here's the proof of that. This is a conversation between Camille and the minor in question.
Why do they know so many details then? Why do they have screenshots? Because they wanted them... I don't know what the fuck is going on. Why is Harry... Okay. Bro, this is like... Bro, I'm trying to read text backwards. It's literally making my eye hurt, dude. If anyone's got the flip round version of these, let me know, but I cannot be fucked to try and discern what these say.
Camille texts him, why do they know so many details then? Why do they have screenshots? And in those same texts, you will see him saying he's going to lose a business partner, aka Harry. Now, Harry would respond with, yeah, that's super messed up. I won't work for him anymore. That's crazy. And then I got this message from the minor saying that Harry still is working for Camille. So I reach out to Harry. And this is the conversation from that little debacle. And then it got to a point wherein I was...
So this is just like a absolute flood of information about seemingly irrelevant details of a business thing happening, which seems completely unrelated to anything specific that, like, it's just flooding you with loads of info to make it seem like there's loads of stuff going on. But it's actually very confusing and it doesn't really seem to be relevant to the matter at hand.
Seeing if I should be contacting the police because this minor happens to be based internationally. He's not in America. And I advise Harry that I'm doing so, and he starts advising me not to do so.
Thank you. Nikan Josh is on the case. Okay, why do they have so many details? Because they wanted them, I don't know, what the fuck's going on, man. Why is Harry not answering me? I'm losing a business partner and employee, and this will cause serious legal issues. It's fine, Tynan, not your fault. Nothing bad or wrong happened. It just looks really bad, and I can't allow it to continue. So who cares? Like, who cares about this? This is a totally worthless, pointless, irrelevant screenshot to show. There is nothing here that is of any interest to the matter at hand. This person seems like a total insane freak, just providing a bunch of irrelevant nonsense to make it seem like there's a story here, when it doesn't so far seem like there is. What is this even supposed to mean? I don't even understand what I'm reading here, dude.
Through call, through FaceTime audio, mind you. But here's the conversation about him advising me not to do so. And if you see with all of the other girls too, he loves calling women lunatics, they're crazy, conspiracy theory, his favorite. Okay, let's continue. Oh, here's a random little tidbit, not really...
Okay, but you are... I mean, sometimes it's true, and in this case it seems to be. You sound totally deranged and incoherent.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Thank you for the super chats. I mean, what the fuck am I even listening to right now? You better start getting to the point soon, because this is, like, deranged. If the glove fits...
Related to what I'm talking about, but I figure I'd share screenshots of Harry with my saved inappropriate photos in the chat. See, I am really sitting here admitting that I did send inappropriate, because it was like a fun little fling. For me, this is like less about the romantic part of anything. I don't really mind that. I don't like that they're saved, but like the whole inappropriate photos thing, not really my main issue. The context of it is though, so hold on. So here's me saying point blank to Harry, what's a conspiracy theory? The grooming part or me quite literally finding your relationship with Camille and all of this is suspicious. That's a speculation, not a theory. Anyway, and this is after...
What? That's what? Huh? You can right click on your desktop to transform, flip horizontal and just read view OBS preview. Oh, okay. I'm terrible. I'm terrible at anything. That leads you to saying conspiracy. Actually, by definition, you did provide me with advice against doing so. Therefore, you advised me not to take action. No, I did not. And when I said, what if I get parental advice, you still advised against it? Nope, that's not true. I advised against that for Twitter, not for a police report.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
She is a liar.
Bro, this is like deranged shit, bro. Like, what am I even supposed to be looking at here? It was after them, but still a while ago. Gotcha. Harry's still working for Camille. Wait, actually, yeah. How do you know? Because I know, trust me. I just know, believe me. So, as far as I can gather from this schizophrenic bitch's ramblings, I think it's to do with some business deal or something. But I don't really see how this is relevant to anything we're talking about now. I thought this was an allegation of grooming. So where's the fucking grooming happening exactly?
Harry called me about 20 times and me not answering, and him saying, this is truly insane, like, Hannah, you don't know anything about Camille in this entire situation, nor do you know what Chris and I dealt with when it came to Camille. Essentially, like, putting his issues with Camille above the fact that he's literally grooming a minor. Anyway. Eventually, however, I was manipulated into thinking that he was no longer working for Camille.
Yeah, so she's basically done the thing, yeah, it's like I said earlier, like, you know, for showing a bunch of paper to make yourself look legitimate, the way she came with all this stack of paper, like she had proof of something, and it's a fucking weird thing of, like, this totally unrelated to the matter at hand. There's, like, complete nonsense, right? It's like a lawyer walking into court with a big fucking set of documents, and they're all blank, to create a false impression that you've got this big case against someone when you don't, or something in, like, a drama, you know?
Whoops. So then October 7th happens. I don't know if I showed this already, but this is also important in the context of everything. I'm sorry this is so confusing. Everything is everywhere. Okay. So then Harry calls me saying...
Yeah, it's confusing because you got nothing. These just a bunch of random screenshots. Where's the proof of grooming? Where's the evidence of him grooming a minor that you're claiming here?
That he's making some federal complaint against Camille. Okay, and I'm like, period, right? And so here's that conversation. Essentially,
I'm not. Don't worry. I'm not reading this until we get to some grooming, actual grooming proof. I don't care about any of this shit.
That 2 other people are in on it. And then I said, okay, we had a little tiff pass behind us. We're homies now.
So look. I think Harry is equally confused about what is even going on here. You're making insane accusations right now, like what you're saying is insane. You've created this conspiracy in your head and you won't even discuss it. This is truly insane. Like Hannah, you don't know anything about Camille in this entire situation, nor do you know what Chris and I dealt with when it came to Camille. The idea that I would try to protect someone who did something wrong is truly ridiculous. And the idea that I would try to protect him with how he treated Chris, okay, so like, she's presenting some theory about something that's happened and he's completely rejecting it. What has this got to do with grooming or any of this fucking shit he's been doing? It's nothing to do with any of it.
He then asked me for nudes, unsent the message. And that's what I was talking about when I said, tried to get me to send him nudes because he pretended that he cared about the predation. So I said, I saw that, you freak. Are you drunk or something? Okay.
Okay, is any of this connected or linked in any way? Like, people are making this connection that there's some, you know, event that happened or thing that occurred, and then he is, like, off the back of that asking for nudes. And I don't think that's been demonstrated in any of these cases, let alone this one, a bunch of random fucking screenshots getting thrown up to the screen.
But I didn't realize that until way later on, because then October
Bro, you
7th
notice the comments as well. Dude, can you read the message aloud? It's really hard to see it as backwards. People are not even picking up on what it is. People in chat are not pinpointing the issue here. Thank God the mine is safe. From what? What even happened to them?
And we were constantly arguing about that. So here is me trying to call Harry because I was trying to talk to him about, you know, Middle East stuff. He questions. He says he's tired. I say whatever. He goes, you know what it's a perfect time for, though? Referring to nudes. I said, you're funny. Then he unsent a message, and I said, I saw that, you freak. Anyways. Then I had a phone call with the minor. He called me at like 10 p.m. I was like, what the fuck? I answer, and he's asking these really, really strange questions, and I'm like, what the hell? Come to find out, Harry and Camille were working together to try to get me to say something. So if I say anything in the future, I'd lose my credibility. Okay. And here, I know it's small. I was trying to preserve.
What? What did come off it, bro?
I know it's small.
Bro, what? What? Are you serious, bro? What is even happening now? What is this? Evidence for ants? Bro, what the fuck is this, dude? It's literally completely and utterly indiscernible wall of text. Oh, here's something. Listen, this proves he's a pedo. Look at this. This is deranged, man. This is utterly deranged shit. No wonder this got deleted from the person's thread.
I was trying to preserve and I know it's probably going to be backwards too. Whatever. I'll post these more straight up next time. That is the fake cease and desist I received soon after for $500,000. Accusing me of racism on TikTok because I have anti-Zionist approaches to things, amongst a ton of other insane things, which I will share later on. So I confronted him about it, yada, yada, yada. And if I didn't already have enough proof of him asking me for inappropriate pictures at very inappropriate times.
Keep this paused for the next 20 minutes, please. I got my magnifying glass.
Okay, thank you for the $5. I mean, it could be true. Like, the thing here, maybe he was asking for it inappropriate times. But I can't fucking read any of it.
Babe, wake up, new Shelbo variant just dropped.
Thank you for the super chats.
Here's more, where I say to him, so true, he wanted me to stop picking an argument with him, stupid. So true, I'll meet you in the middle. Next time you want inappropriate pictures, just find someone else and leave me alone next time. He said, yeah, that definitely works for me. So there's him admitting that. Anyways, here's also more creepy text regarding inappropriate photos. I don't remember the context of some of these, so. Now when the creepy texts and threats come in, this is my favorite part.
Here we go.
All of these, okay, all of these are all screenshots of threatening texts I got. But it doesn't end there. I have an audio. So
I'd like to start by maybe being able to read them. I don't even, you just literally flashed them up for a surprise.
Phone call from a blocked number when I was home in California. My sister recorded this, and this is kind of what happened.
Who? Don't post anything about who?
Camille.
Who's Camille?
Okay, that's wonderful.
Maroon.
But how do I make money off the press?
Oh, Camille Maroon.
Out of 10's act uppity. You are mid.
Thanks for the super chats.
Or what? Or what?
Or I'll fucking kill you.
There's an example.
So what? So she got a random what? Okay. I don't know who that is, where it's from, what.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Seems like there's some fuckery possibly, but I cannot possibly
You need
discern.
the video scanner from Blade Runner for this. Good God.
Thank you for the super chats. Yeah, this is just like don't know, no idea what to make of that. Literally completely clueless as to what to make of that we just heard. Someone calling. I'm guessing it's supposed to be someone from Harry's side threatening them over this Camille stuff, which I still don't really understand.
So when Harry and I kind of went dark, you know, like we stopped talking to each other altogether, it was because he found out that I was still talking to this guy I used to talk to. And he called me, told me to go fuck myself. Was just super fucking pissed that that was happening. So maybe he thought I owed something to him, but I didn't. And I didn't think he thought I did. I don't fucking know. Also the end all was the loss of my now regrettable friendship with my old friend Melina, whom I have a screenshot on that. This is her essentially ending the friendship with me because I was posting shit about Harry. So, I mean, who knows? I don't know if any of this made sense. I'm really sorry that all of this is backwards.
No.
In regards to the screenshots.
0 cents.
I will be kind of breaking it down in parts, but this is just kind of the full account. There are definitely things that I missed and screenshots that I did not show because it's just I don't have much time left in this. So there's more to the story. But
Yeah.
there's just some evidence on some of this stuff.
It sounds like, yeah, like she gave that hint when she first started speaking, but obviously you can never be 100%. But after watching that, she just seems like a person with an axe to grind that has got this story about some prior misbehavior over some business thing. A minor was apparently involved. I couldn't tell you what she's just tried to explain to me there. Very confusing. And she's trying to capitalize and jump in on this situation in order to, you know, get the boot into him, essentially. Yeah, it's like when you can't discern what the allegation is even supposed to be because you can't read the screenshots. I mean, or she's not even said what it is. She's not even clearly laid out what the issue is. It's very confusing. Yeah. Also, chat's frozen on the screen, but I can still see you. I don't know why it's frozen. That's annoying. Yeah. I mean, bro, that was just fucking deranged and stupid and pointless and worthless. I don't know how to unfreeze you. Okay, there's one more thing here we're going to look at, which is the Twitter space. But I think before we do that, I just want to take a quick look at this. I think we'll look at his response. He has responded to this, or I should say commented on it. So let's have a little look and see what he had to say for himself. So apparently this is his response to the allegations on TikTok before Sarah posted the threads that we've been looking at. So let's have a look and listen to his response, or his, you know, takes on his behavior and whatnot, and see what he said. Hair Bear Sisson and Chrissy Poo are getting cancelled. Harry is an abuser of women. Dude, just obvious political motivation to make these claims. Abuser of women. He's not a fucking abuser, bro. That is a crazy framing.
A lot to, I think, digest for people, but yeah, I think the fundamental here is that, you know, with said individual, I set those parameters of being like, we're not exclusive, there's no long-term thing here. I also have like screenshots to back it up, but I'm not interested in like whipping that out right now, right? It's just, I'm not interested in playing that game. But at the end of the fundamental, at the end of the day, shouldn't have been dishonest. That's what it is. It was a juvenile mistake. It was high school shit. Reminded me of like something your fucking guy friends would do in high school. That's it. Done. I mean, there's no justification, no excuse. Done. You know what I mean? And that goes across the board. We're young. We're still making mistakes. We're figuring life out. Those mistakes can often hurt people. And you know, that's why this mistake in particular like is wrong. And somebody just said it's quote unquote boys being boys or guys being guys. It's like, we first of all obviously don't agree with that.
Oh my god, dude. Is that like progressives pulling out the boys will be boys shit?
But how do I make
What?
money
What?
off depressed people?
Daddy.
Bro, we're in backwards land. What's going on? Did they not watch the fucking Gillette advert? Okay, I think this response is fine. I don't have a problem with this response. This is fine so far. I think he's challenging the idea that he was dishonest to the point where he was saying that, you know, he did, like, people are acting like he didn't say that he wasn't interested in something exclusive. It seems like he's got evidence that says otherwise. I can't see it either way, so I can't say for sure. But he is at least accepting that he was dishonest in how he went about this. Hey, geez, thank you for the 10 gifted. That's super generous, thank you.
Spiro became a member.
I didn't say boys will be boys. Boys will be boys suggests that there's like, you know, no criticism or commentary to make about someone's behavior. And I don't think that that is true. I don't think boys will be boys is like the right way of putting it. It's, you know, young people can make mistakes and fuck things up and hurt people, which is recognizing too when they are engaging in these sorts of things. And I don't think someone should be destroyed for that. I think that, you know, as long as he grows from this and moves forward, that's fine. You know, I don't like the idea that you completely hand wave away the behavior because it's like, well, there's still something to criticize there. It's just not to the extremity that people are going at it online, you know? But what he's done, this response is reasonable. He's saying he recognizes he was dishonest, recognizes it as a mistake, which I think you could put it down to a mistake, sure. Yeah, I don't know. This is a uniquely male mistake. Girls don't be doing this. Good one. Yeah, sure. Women have never done this before. This is unheard of for a woman to do.
That principle, but it certainly feels like this action could fall into that category. So that's the most important thing. That it's just like, did it, learn from it, and we're going to grow. And that's what it is. And these, you know, took place many months ago, certainly not, I think, recently.
Bro, come on, dude. Many months ago. Come on, bro. Yeah, man, this was like at least a few months ago that this happened. Bro, what are you on about, dude? Come on. That's cope. That's recent. That's like recent.
But it's that, and that's the thing. And like, but I will say, I will reiterate that, like, behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly. I've grown from those 3 months ago when I did this.
You know, I'm not gonna name names. Not trying to get messy with this shit. But behind the scenes, like.
Yeah, I know chat's frozen. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what's gone wrong here. I will try and sort it out in a sec.
Chris is having explicit messages and explicit photos hung over his head. Right? My girlfriend's identity, which she wants to keep private, is being held over my head. And just across the board, right? So I think my overall point is that, like, yeah, what, you know, I did was
Oh, I think there's something wrong with Restream, the thing that I use to multi-stream. It seems like it's down or something. I'm trying to access it and it's just saying like something is wrong. Okay. I think there's a glitch on Restream's end. So I'm just going to hide the chat for now because it's not working anyway. And I've got you up here.
Regrettable, right? You should be honest, right? And when you can be, you should just be honest, right? But having the response being like, we're gonna locate your girlfriend who's private, and we all know like how crazy MAGA is. Like, if MAGA, I don't know if you've seen, like, on Twitter, they've been like taking the pictures of me and my girlfriend in the videos and they've been posting it with like obscene captions. They've been doing it here on TikTok. We know how crazy MAGA is. Once MAGA gets a hold of information like that, they will run with it. And they
Bro, okay. To be fair, there's some MAGA people that have actually been quite supportive, I feel like. You know, funnily enough. There's some people that are like, yeah, man, you didn't do anything wrong. So I think it's a bit more mixed than he wants to let on here. You know, some MAGA people are deranged in this, but some people are actually fighting your corner, you know?
They will go after her. You know what I mean? So the fact that that's like being even kind of shared and like hung over her head is wrong. So, and the images being shared that are private is wrong.
Hi, Jennifer.
So,
yeah. Also, like, I want to be clear to like everyone. Like, again, I think we've like made this like a very serious conversation, but I think the original intention was to like get on here and like debate, right? I think that like this is like a pretty niche, like I call this I think like not niche. I'm sorry, I shouldn't phrase it like that. I'm saying like there's not many people who like know about this. I think there's some people who reached out to us privately to ask, and I think like we were trying to like address it, but now it's been like a long time of like we're just like we're not trying to talk like very seriously. What is someone like
yeah, I mean, also like we first of all wanted to come on, or I should say, I wanted to come on and say accountability, right? That's the most important thing. But also we want transparency. So if you have questions about this and you're interested in asking them, and there's something that you're just like still unsure about, we are 100% interested in answering those questions so you guys know everything. Because what I also will say is that transparently, what's up? Sorry, go ahead. Transparently, there's been a lot of information left out of these things.
Yeah, I think he's due his right to respond as well. I think that's probably true. Like there's like his side to the story too. I'm 10 miles away. I'm ready to. Okay, I disavow, but thank you for the super chat.
Once again, Chris and I are trying to be adults. We're trying to be mature, and we're not interested in getting into an information battle. And what she did was wrong. What he did was wrong. What they did was wrong. Tackling those. Sorry. We're not interested in that information battle of like trying to put out, oh, we have all this, not interested in it. But we are interested in transparency with you folks if you have questions.
Somebody said quickly, and I know this video is like floated around of why did you like? Can you apologize for calling them lunatics? Actually, yes, I apologize because I think that it's.
Wait, what?
Actually, can you apologize for and I know this video is like floated around of why did you like, can you apologize for calling them lunatics? Actually, yes, I apologize because I think that it's actually in this like instance, backing up for a second, and that was not like a real apology, just let me get my thoughts out first. Yeah, so look, like again, I think in like the instance here, like when we're not mentioning names publicly, we're like trying not to like talk about this publicly, like
so that's the clip that we saw, which I was a bit like, okay, it's quite short and I don't know exactly what they're talking about, but further information seemed to back up the idea that they were talking about that one woman at least.
In this instance, again, I'm being like, my people in my personal life are being like dragged into this, and these individuals are getting like doxing, like Harry's girlfriend, spending like all day and all night trying to like, essentially, trying to like pump this and post videos about it. I will say, and again, I'm not interested in information war here, but while these videos were like being,
I mean, people like, these guys of, you know, they forgot to program in the rape response, the rape allegation response chip into them at the NPC factory, clearly. Right? Like, they're not very good at dealing with this. They're used to delivering like pre-polished commentary and speeches or whatever in regards to like Democrat politics, not to responding to allegations of wrongdoing. So they're clearly like not essentially programmed for this, but they're not been trained or told how to engage in this. So I think it acts as a very disconcerting, because you're used to seeing them in a very polished format, but that's because that's the angle that they've undoubtedly received media training on, but not on how to respond to allegations of sexual misconduct, right? So they're really fucking floundering here.
being posted while you guys were hearing about this, like these individuals were also like texting Harry saying like, you know, explicit things of, oh, I'm so sorry, we could make up if you come here and do.
Also, can I quickly add something to that? When I got into, and I'm not going to name names, again, I'm not interested in like sending hate anybody's way, just not interested in doing that. When I got into a relationship, one of these people texted me that they wanted to come to where I live and do stuff. And I had to remind them that I'm in a relationship, that I'm loyal to my girlfriend, we are exclusive, and that I
1v1 Rust.
And it's just wrong, you know.
I think like I'm gonna give very blunt cliff notes. There was an individual on Snapchat who lived in the state of Illinois while Harry lived in the state of New York. They started engaging in consensual exchange of explicit explicit things. I think that the parameter for Harry was, my understanding of this is the parameter from Harry was originally set saying we are like, this is for fun. We are not exclusive. If that is not okay with you, that's totally cool with me. I think that like one big thing I consistently talk about, and like I debate with people on this all the time, is like, again, just being like very intentional about like what you want. Like, I don't think that there's a problem with wanting like to have fun, right? But being clear about wanting to have fun, not leading people on. So being clear of like, this is what this is. And through that, I think that this individual then, I guess, leaked the photos and said that Harry got a girlfriend. I don't know. She says that she was led on. That's kind of like the cliff notes. Harry and this individual I've never met in person. And
never FaceTime them.
Never FaceTime. So that's,
or at least spoken on FaceTime, I should say.
Yeah, I think that's like those are the cliff. Yeah, someone said, "Oh, high school stuff." Those are the cliff notes. I think that like
high school stuff.
I think that I think that like, again, like I think this is being like blown in pretty intensely out of proportion. But the idea being that like Harry engaged in saying, you know, essentially, she asked, "Are you seeing other people? Are you talking to other people?" And Harry said, "No." Was he actively engaging in talking to other people on texting them or Snapchatting? Yes. Was that a mistake? Yes. You should not have done that. That was a mistake. And I think that like, and again, I think that like in this aspect, and I think like genuinely, like we don't have any ill will toward these people. I think that like you not like allowing the framing.
What is the fucking dynamic here? Is this guy's defense attorney or something? Why is he like speaking on his behalf, dude? What is the relationship between these two? I thought, are they not bum boys? What is going on?
To be not allowing the frame. I'm sorry. Like I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. It was.
Stop the cope, but just admit your shit like every other 23-year-old guy. Yeah, right? I mean, dude, like, right. Yeah, you're just a young lad who presented a certain image that you couldn't back up with your actions. Like, yeah, do better, right? I don't know, bro. It's not that fucking deep. I think the problem is again, it's just been, it is true that it's been blown out of all proportion. You know, that thread was fucking, the more we went through it, the more deranged it got, as they were like including like domestic violence photos, the alleged grooming where there was nothing of the sort demonstrated in any meaningful way. Like, bro, obvious like fucking political shit job type maneuver, you know. But yeah, very cringe. But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, this response is fine. I mean, I don't really know what else I would expect from them beyond. I mean, you know, I don't know. It's fine. I think this is a fine response.
The idea of, regardless of how inconsequential.
I was a piece of shit. I manipulated people and went against what I stand for. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Just, you know, you could probably do a bit more of that, I guess. But I don't really think that, like, there's anything lacking here that would make me super upset about what's happening. Like, I'm like, okay. It could be stronger, but I don't know, man. It's, you know. Like, it's very obvious that there is a political element to the way people are taking it, like that original thread. Very deranged thread. So I can understand not wanting to give up too much because, you know, there's people that are wanting to literally fucking destroy you over this.
Consequential it may seem to you, because again, you may only talked a few times and it's over an app like Snapchat. I think like still...
Trump is a better man than me is what he should have said. Okay, dude. I don't think he needs to go that far. That's a bit much, okay? I think he's still within his rights to criticize Trump.
Like, you know, other...
Drama's really lacking right now. Bro, what are you on about? This is like a massive story. This is great. Bro, you have to be... Bro, what sort of jaded cynicism are you engaged in if you're looking at this massive fucking allegation drop and you're like, oh, drama sucks, man?
People living completely different lives have different perspectives than you do, and I think that like you know, if maybe they're willing to only continue talking to you if they have the premise of understanding of like being exclusive. And I think that's something like Harry and I, and we talked to Parker and Dean today on the phone for a long time, and we just literally just sat and talked about like, again, the like idea and the like I don't want to say like morality, that sounds kind of strange, but like the instance of like why Harry made the decisions he did or why this happened. But again, like Cliff Notes, it's Snapchat stuff. So
yeah, someone's mistakes. I also like I want to be clear. Like I see a bunch of people saying, "Let's."
It does suck. There's nothing here. Okay, sometimes the best allegation, you know, the best allegations are when they're overstated, right? I don't know. If you don't like this, that's fine. I would advise you to tune out. But I think this is great, and I'm going to listen to the Twitter space as well.
Certain people up. I want to be clear that. I think that's actually like an incredibly immature thing for us to do if we were to do it. Because
I talked about like, again, the like idea and the like I don't want to say like morality, that sounds kind of strange, but like the instance of like why Harry made the decisions he did or why this happened. But again, like Cliff Notes, it's Snapchat stuff. So
yeah, someone's mistakes. I also like I want to be clear. Like I see a bunch of people saying, "Let certain people up." I want to be clear that. I think that's actually like an incredibly immature thing for us to do if we were to do it, because that just like, it's just going to spiral. The conversation's not going to be productive. I'm a big believer of like, quote unquote, like not fighting with people when it comes to serious matters like this. And I think just like, there's nothing productive that's going to come from that conversation. There's nothing.
Yeah. Right. And I also think that like, again, in the sense of like, it's like proportional, right? We're taking like an instance of having this conversation about decisions that were made over Snapchat, and we've taken it and now we're like doing things like doxing Harry's girlfriend, right? So like what, like if the idea here is that like, again, I think like we talk a lot about like women issues on the internet, and it's something we care deeply about. That's why we're having this conversation right now, to like continue to try to be better.
Okay, bro, I don't like that, man. Well, yeah, that's the point, isn't it? You presented yourself in a certain way and it turns out you're just like all the other fucking young lads out there, right? Like, that's the point. That's the point. You've undermined your own credibility by, I mean, not even in behaving this way. I expect people in the early 20s to do things like this, right? It's the fact that you are total, like, skinwalkers that have presented yourself in a way. You've written checks that your butt can't cash. Is that the right terminology? You have said things that you cannot possibly live up to, and you've presented a false impression of yourself to the internet. You know? Sod off, you mucker. What does that mean? Anyway. in any case, you know, it's just hopefully a lesson that you should be a bit more, have a bit more humility and, you know, in how you're presenting yourself in terms of your public persona. And don't put on such a show of what a great person you are. And yeah, like this probably wouldn't be as big an issue. But you being like a smug, irritating, annoying fucktard, it's what makes this all the more juicy for people, you know? That being said, I don't think people should be taking it to an extreme, obviously. And people have taken it to an extreme. Mostly people who couldn't get girls in high school that hadn't grown out of it, that in first year uni in my experience. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's interesting that he notes it's high school behavior. And it's like, yeah, but you're in your early 20s now, right? So even that is a bit like, well, hang on a minute. Shouldn't you not be doing it then if it's high school behavior? So, yeah, I don't know, dude. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Twitter space as well. I've heard it's a good one.
But we've taken this instance of a mistake, and now we're essentially, we're putting another woman who's stuck in this situation, aka Harry's girlfriend, and putting her through like massive stress and all these things because she's being doxxed and people are now messaging her because of this. So it's like, why, like, it almost feels like let's not weaponize something for women against other women. You know what I'm saying? It's like treating other women like shit. Anyways, I don't know. It's all very, it's a little messy. So I just don't think that, like, again, I don't know that, like, why we're, like, I kind of agree with Harry that, like, I really wish that some of these things privately, like, could be taken offline, because it's like, this does not seem like something that needs to be talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I also think that's the case. I think that, like, the best place to deal with something like that is not in the public forum, because I think that there's a lot of opportunity for...
No. I disagree with that. I think that if you've got that, it's the integrity point again. If you have engaged in behavior that undermines your integrity, then that is up for fucking public discussion, as far as I'm concerned. If you don't want it to be a public matter, don't sell yourself as the fucking woman respecter, right? If you were just some fucking random YouTube guy who made content about, I don't know, whatever topic, fucking movie reviews or something, and someone brought this forward, I'd probably agree with that, and I'd say, yeah, I don't think this is right to bring this forward because he's just a random dude. But if he staked his career on being the Democrat libtard woman respecter, yeah, I think there's an integrity question here, and I think it does make it a matter of public interest. I think that's, I don't think it necessarily needs to be kept private in this circumstance.
People who are not involved to get attacked, facts to be misconstrued. I think something like this is far better in a private setting. That's just us. I think that's our view. We understand it's been made public, and that's why we're here now. We're talking about it. We're being completely transparent about it. We'd like to answer any questions about it. And yeah,
it just sounds like a lack of communication there. Yeah,
I mean, let me take questions. I got this.
Oh, answer.
Yeah, I think like lack of communication for sure. And again, I want to be clear, a lot of juvenile behavior, right? You know what I mean? That's like,
also, actually it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go scorched earth.
You can say whatever you want. I think it is important. No. So somebody says, so yes or no, you cheated? No, because I wasn't, I made abundantly clear with any of these people that there was no exclusivity. And again, I have messages to back that up, but again, I'm not interested in information war. I'm just not interested in it. Matter of fact, even one of these people like acknowledged on a live stream recently that they were seeing other people at the same time, right? Like, and that was perfectly fine because there was no exclusivity. But no, like there was no exclusivity. There was no like relationship taking place. Why? And he says, why did you lie saying you weren't seeing someone when you were? So I wasn't like seeing anybody, but also the reason why was because I wanted to protect my own privacy. Like I felt as if I set the parameters beforehand, being like, yeah, we're not in a relationship, we're not exclusive, and
okay, a privacy, like it's not a privacy matter to be dishonest about whether or not you're talking to other people. You don't have to name who they are, but saying that you're not speaking to others when you are, I mean, yeah, that's just a dishonest, shitty thing to do. Like, I don't know, bro. I think he's overstating the privacy aspect here.
We have separate private lives. You don't have to tell me about your private life. I don't have to tell you about my private life, especially given the circumstances. I was doing it to protect my own privacy, but in hindsight, obviously, there are better ways to protect privacy.
I also want to point out, and I'm...
Yeah, sure. That's reasonable. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I say, you know, he's saying I acted juvenile. Yeah, you did. I made mistakes. Yeah, you did. Right? I mean, I don't really, like, yeah, okay. I think this is perfectly reasonable. I don't really think there's much more to expect of this, really. Like, he could probably go a bit harder on himself, sure. But then, with the temperature it's been taken up to now, and all the Republicans fucking gunning for him, I say all the Republicans, that one thread, and then other people, like fucking the cat turd person and others, that presumably are shitting on this guy. I can understand him maybe being a bit hesitant to give up too much.
Sorry for engaging here, maybe when I shouldn't. But again, I really I think that we're...
Someone said, why did you block an individual? Some of these, I blocked a lot of these people because I learned that they were doxing my girlfriend. I didn't, for the most part on my main account.
No shit, they're shitting on him. I don't have a problem with the, haha, you've cultivated an audience of woke libtard women, and now they want to come for you for this. That's fine. Like, the Schadenfreude stuff's fine. But I think there's rightoids who, you know, would turn the other cheek and completely ignore this if it was one of their own that was doing this. Right? And I think that there is an element of well, you know, it's the classic of holding to the other side of standards you don't hold your own side to. Something like that, right? I don't know, dude. I just don't really have a problem with how he's responded to this. I think this is fine.
I haven't blocked anybody. I've only blocked people on more backup accounts and stuff like that for the most part. Didn't block anybody until I learned that they were actively trying to discover the identity of my girlfriend. Once I did learn that they were actively trying to discover the identity of my girlfriend, I was...
He's so cringe. He's such an F slur.
Yeah, the better way to do this is probably just to be if you got questions, I'll answer them. Say your piece. I don't know, man. This is fine. It's fine. That's the way I'd refer to it. It's fine. That's kind of it, you know? I don't have any strong feelings about it one way or another, really. I'm not wow, what a great guy responding this way. Neither of them are yeah, this is totally shit. I'm just okay, yeah, sure. Thank you for the $10.
I was that's too much.
And also, I'm sorry. In terms of, I'm just gonna be straight up honest here, because again, I really don't think that this is a necessary thing to get into, and I am consistently frustrated, I think, with the lack of information. I agree with Harry, what Harry said about, again, people saying things about, I agree with the idea of saying the exclusivity thing. The thing that we're leaving out, I'm just gonna be straight up honest. Multiple of these people were talking to both of us at the same time. I'm sorry.
Oh! Let's go! Now we're talking. Get a bit of spice in there. Yes, please. Let's go. No way. Bro. Now we're talking. Yes. Talk your shit, King. Let's go.
I'm gonna get upset here. I'm gonna go scorched earth. But the dishonesty framing here is a little frustrating. The people that you're listening to are saying that, again, in these scenarios where we've never met any of these individuals, and Harry was leading X, Y, and Z, we both know that they were talking to both of us at the same time. In fact, I was in the same room getting the same images and stuff while we're now claiming that it's a being let on. I don't.
When are these fellas going on Fresh and Fit? It sounds like they got some truth to speak about women. Let's go.
Want to get into this, but this is the framing here is unbelievably dishonest. It's dishonest. It is. I agree with the idea of even when other people are being dishonest, trying to be better, but come on, this is.
So I wasn't. We're going to wrap this up in a second. I wasn't going to say that, but he's right. He actually is right. That did happen.
Bro. Now, the thing is, it doesn't really change his behavior in how he acted, I don't think. If anything, it really just kind of shows that there is some libtard cope sometimes when it comes to the women question, right? And the fact they presented themselves in a certain way, only to say shit like that, it's well, yeah, exactly. You shouldn't just dismiss out of hand or act like, the libtard feminism women respecter is the right approach. Right? That's your problem. The problem is you trusted women, okay? Let's be careful with that in the future.